Northern California and the resulting tsunami warning. Governor Newsom is now meeting with state emergency officials and working to ensure Californians are safe.
Fox's Jonathan Hodge. The tsunami warning extends into southern Oregon. The quake was centered near Ferndale, a small city in coastal Humboldt County near the Oregon border. Top FDA officials land on the Capitol Hill Grill, facing questions about ultra-processed food and food dyes.
At a Senate health hearing, Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville asked FDA Deputy Commissioner Jim Jones why red dyes, one of which is known to cause cancer after being in cosmetics, are still available in some foods.
So Red 3, we have a petition in front of us to revoke the authorization for it, and we are hopeful that within the next few weeks we will be acting on that petition, and a decision should be forthcoming.
Tuberville asked why Canada and Europe ban so many chemicals that we don't.
In the FDA, although we have authorization to do post-market reviews, there's no statutory mandate to do them.
He says we are years behind Europe in conducting such post-market chemical reviews.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Trump nominee for Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has vowed changes to address some of the same issues. Day 3 of jury deliberations in the subway chokehold death case in New York. Earlier, jurors asking the judge to reread the definitions of recklessness and negligence and to give them a written copy. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
You might as well get used to the cold. Partly cloudy and 23 degrees downtown. Your radar is clear of any trouble. Tonight's low drops to 15. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. Don't expect temperatures to warm up really at all today.
Highs are only going to be in the low to mid-20s. Probably one of the coldest days of the season so far across central Indiana. And with it being a bit windy, too, throughout the day, wind chills will probably make it only feel like it's in the teens.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. An elderly woman was rescued from a burning home on the west side of Indianapolis this morning, says Wayne Township Fire Captain Eric Bannister.
There were 3 adults in the residence. All were displaced. 2 refused treatment on the scene. 1 was transported, and a couple animals were also rescued by fire crews.
Bannister says the fire happened along Mars Hill Street, just north of Troy Avenue. Fire crews are looking into exactly what caused the fire. The media has asked to have cameras in the courtroom when Richard Allen, the man convicted of the Delphi murders, is sentenced. Ryan Hetrick reports that probably won't be the case.
You may not be surprised to learn that the judge in charge of the case, Fran Gull, denied the request to have cameras record Richard Allen's sentence on December 20th. Allen was convicted of killing Abby Williams and Libby German near the Monon High Bridge in 2017. The only time that Gull has allowed cameras in the courtroom was on October 19th, 2023. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A man in Indianapolis is the first to try new gene therapy to treat hemophilia. Lyle Yoder has dealt with hemophilia all his life, but has been recruited by Innovative Hematology to try the new type of treatment.
The benefits are going to outweigh anything that I have to sacrifice or to let go of for now.
Talking to Wish TV, doctors say it's a one-time infusion of a virus that's been genetically modified to trick the body into making the clotting agent of blood that people with hemophilia lack. And you may remember Officer Noah Shanovez.
He served our country with distinction as a sergeant in the U.S. Army, deploying to the Middle East during the global war on terror. His leadership and professionalism earned him the respect of his fellow soldiers.
Indiana Congresswoman Victoria Spartz on the House floor yesterday. Shanovez was shot and killed during a traffic stop 2 years ago. Spartz introduced a bill to rename the Elwood Post Office after Officer Shanovez. That was unanimously passed by the House. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Do you have an idea for a book? Fiction, nonfiction, or a children's book? We can help you put it together and bring it to market at Dorrance Publishing. We have thousands of testimonials from people just like you that we've helped get their books sold in stores and online. We've even got a service called The Writer's Coach. It's perfect for people that have a book idea in their head and they just need someone to help them put it on paper. Dorrance Book Publishing has been helping people just like you who have a book idea, written or not, for over 100 years. Imagine being counted among the most famous authors in the world with your very own book. Call right now and let us help you turn a book idea into reality. It's easier than you think. You just need a little help. Call us now.
800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. That's 800-879-4098.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05. Good afternoon, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Harrison? Looking at inbound 65 looks good, except for a little bit of a slowdown around West Street. And on the north side, eastbound 465, slowing down at the White River. Traffic sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. And they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone. AutoZone. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Sunny but cold throughout much of the day. We will see breezy conditions with gusts at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Highs only near 23, but feels like temperatures into the teens. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Did you see the guy yesterday that IMPD had to shoot? Guy had a machete. Shot to kill, man.
You ever had a machete in your hand?
Not for those purposes. This lunatic stabbed 2 victims, and the police showed up, and the guy went after the police, and they had to shoot him. Nuts, man. Just incredible. Yeah, I have held a machete before. It's no joke. Thank God the guy didn't have a gun.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And we're learning a little bit more information here. But again, if you didn't hear the story, it sounds like some dude who was not all there freaked out, and there were 2 people, a man and a woman. Turns out he knows these people.
Yeah, he was waiting for him outside the office or warehouse where they were at.
And next thing you know, he stabs the woman. The guy tries to get some help, and hell breaks loose. The police arrive, and then they tell him multiple times, please put the weapon down. And the officers, they're trying to create space between themselves and this lunatic. But when you're a lunatic, you do lunatic things. So he charged at the officers with machete in hand, and let's just say he didn't make it. And now, of course, there's a little bit of an investigation going on, even though these officers did nothing wrong. It's just kind of the policy at the IMPD. Here is the chief of police, Chris Bailey.
This is never should never be the end to whatever's occurring in your life or whatever's occurring in any kind of relationship, especially deadly violence like this. We're lucky we didn't have a couple of our neighbors killed as a result of this person's actions.
Yeah.
And the attacker, this now deceased pain in the ass, was a former employee at a business in that business park. So I don't know if he was taking it out on, people that might have worked in that building. He knows them, but maybe they were just 2 chosen at random to represent the business. But sounds like they're going to be okay. All of the officers are going to be okay. And there's one less dead bad guy. So to me, Nige, it sounds like that's almost a happy ending.
Well, look, I mean, there's a thing called suicide by cop. A witness told investigators the suspect told him he was about to witness a suicide by cop. This according to a report from our news gathering partners, Wish TV. And, that's a real thing. Suicide by cop. Hey, I'm going to do everything I can to get killed by the police.
Blaze of glory, as some people refer to it.
And then precedent's been set that suicide by cop can often result in the family of the criminal or, whoever's trying to do their worst getting paid.
Right. I don't know if it was exactly suicide by cop, but when Drayshawn Reed's family got that big, massive settlement from the city of Indianapolis, that was disgusting to me because this was a guy that was trying to murder police officers, was filming himself shooting guns in neighborhoods, got into a chase, streamed it, had a weapon, and the police department did an amazing job in the press conference of showing you video, showing you evidence, frame by frame, breaking it down, why it was justified. Nobody really complained about it after that. But the city of Indianapolis gave that family money, and that's disgusting.
Yeah, a witness, let me read a little bit more here, just real quick, and we move on. A witness told investigators the suspect told him he was about to witness a suicide by cop. This was after his attack on the victims, but before the officers arrived. Wow. It is very fortunate that nobody was seriously hurt, except, of course, for the attacker.
And he was intentionally ramming vehicles, too. Like, this guy was
he?
completely unhinged. Yeah, that's part of the information that we learned today as this investigation goes on, was intentionally ramming vehicles. So, yeah, you've got that type of lunatic running at you with a machete. If you're a law officer, you don't have time to sit there and wonder what's going on. Eliminate the threat. Eliminate the threat. Now, speaking of police, and as you know, there is no show in the city more pro-law enforcement than we are. Can I just say, I'm getting a little burned out on them telling us, you better not have lights, Christmas lights on your car. I swear to God, I've heard this story 10 times in the last 24 hours. People are putting, like, Christmas lights on their car and they're driving around with it, right?
Oh, okay. And then other people might mistake those lights for police lights, right? Is that what you're getting at?
Well, the police say it's a distraction to other motorists because people will be looking at your car and your lights and then crash into somebody else. And it's also illegal. There's an Indiana code that says colored lights anywhere outside the front and back of non-emergency vehicles is against the law.
Okay.
I get that, and I understand it. But the way they're pushing this out to the media, I mean, 3 different TV stations had this story today. I heard our newsroom had it yesterday. I wish going after real bad guys got this level of media attention. I get it. Morons should not have lights for Christmas all over their car. But does that warrant all of this media coverage? I mean, my God, they've covered lights on cars harder than they did Joe Hogsett going missing for the riots.
You're going to get a stern text from Sergeant Perrine.
I know.
The Indiana State Police hammer.
And, you know, Superintendent Carter's going to send me a message, too, explaining why I'm the bad guy here.
I get it.
I mean, my goodness, I get it. The things that, really get pushed to the media crack me up sometimes. Yeah, morons in their cars, it's a problem. But there are bigger problems out there on the roads, I promise you. How about we take that same level of focus, of going after Clark Griswold and his family truckster as we do going after these maniacs, violent repeat offenders here out on the streets.
Oh, man, I was going home the other night. Lindsay and I and the kids were in the car, too. And I think it was like the day after Thanksgiving. And just this guy in this Dodge Charger, a civilian, obviously. I mean, just with the loud muffler. In and out of traffic on 465. Oh, no, yeah, it was on 465. I mean, just dangerous all over the place. And I'm like, oh, where's the cops when we need them? I want them to pull this guy over so bad. These idiots in those, the Challengers or the Charger.
They were too busy chasing down the car that had the Christmas lights on it, Nige.
Oh, you're going to get a text. Sergeant Perrine, I can give you Hammer's number if you don't have it.
I haven't even looked at the message, and I'm just looking at my phone. Doug Carter.
Are you serious?
I'll read that later.
Shut up.
I'll read that later. According to a new online forum, the hygiene habits that nobody wants to talk about but totally should have created a little bit of a conversation.
All right, let's run them down.
All right, so these are the things in no particular order.
Hygiene habits that no one talks about but should.
But totally should, right. Number 1 that I've got on my list, using clean pillowcases, keeping your sheets fresh in general.
Yeah, we're about once a week with that.
Yeah.
About once a week. I mean, I don't think that's that bad.
Changing your towels. Hand towels especially. Because I'll always use a new towel when I take a shower or whatnot.
Oh, really?
But I think the hand towel one's been up there for a bit.
I think it's the opposite with me. Individually, I don't know about Lindsay or the kid. You use a different towel every morning for the shower?
We bought this thing for the shower, Nige, where you put the towel in this little tub and it heats the towel up. And then when you get out of the shower, you've got a hot, warm towel to put on yourself. It's a game changer.
Oh,
it's so good.
That's amazing.
Cold mornings like today, you come out of the shower where normally you're going into a colder room, right? But if you got that bad boy on, oh my goodness, it's awesome. Here are some other things. Cleaning out your belly button lint.
Okay. Done.
Cleaning out your piercing holes. Now, I don't have any. You got any piercing holes, Nige?
No. You didn't have the hoop earring when you were in the left ear when you were a late 90s kid?
No, I did not. I think Louis Gossett Jr. had the market on that. Him and Barry Bonds. Let's see. Brushing your tongue. Now, I do this.
Yeah, I do that.
Brush your tongue.
Yeah.
It's key for fresh breath and all that kind of stuff. Cleaning your phone screen on the regular.
I need to do that. I need to buy a set, like a bathroom wet wipes, and just keep them at my desk for the phone.
We
So
used to have
dirty.
them here in the studio, but I think those No Good Rotten Weekend hosts take them.
Wait a minute. There's a little thing of them right there. Clorox? Is that ours?
That's not the box that I brought in,
okay.
but it's a box, so we'll take that. Yeah, phones are filthy.
Remember when those things were like gold during COVID?
Dude.
Bars of gold.
That's when the coupon lady was at her peak, man.
Yeah.
She'd find like Clorox, and she'd show up into a neighborhood like Nino Brown and New Jack City coming in.
Passing out turkeys?
Passing out turkeys, opening up a sport coat, and there's all the Clorox and that kind of stuff.
Incredible.
Oh, man. Matt Bear, he is in the WIBC Traffic Center. What's going on?
All right, fellas, looking at the north side, eastbound 465 slows off Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road, inbound 65, a little bit tight, 21st to Meridian Pad. Traffic sponsored by Dell Technologies. Cyber Monday is Dell Technologies' biggest sale of the year. Save on select PCs like XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Shop Dell.com/deals. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
So do you want to hear the message from Superintendent Carter?
I didn't know if you were being serious or not.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, there you do have one.
Quote, I agree with you on the lights. And then he added, read that now.
Doug Carter? Well, he's retiring. So
Right. He's in cruise control now, right? We're looking at 27 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Doug Boles, president of the Motor Speedway, will join us in studio coming up a little bit later on. Cool. But up next, Jen Watterson from our pals at Huse Culinary. We're going to make some Christmas cocktails.
No.
They've got a really cool thing going on at the HC Tavern and Kitchen in Fishers.
I know what this is, yeah.
We'll talk about that next.
Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Hey, have you guys tried Barkeep Vodka yet? If you have not, you're missing out. Don't show up to that holiday party empty-handed. Pick up a bottle of Barkeep Vodka. It's local. It's made in Indy, and they use this compression filtering process that reduces the bite and the burn and the aftertaste, and it's a better value than almost all the other top-shelf vodkas.
Distilled with corn from Indiana farmers and sold at a low price. So, pick up a bottle, make the spirits bright. Barkeep Vodka, sold at Indiana grocery and liquor stores or barkeepvodka.com.
Joyner Homes has been building truly custom homes in Central Indiana for 18 years. They can build anywhere that you can bring a builder or on your own private lot. They make it easy to build your dream home with an in-house team of architecture and design specialists. First step, visit joynerhomes.com. Check out floor plans, pricing, locations. You can even start from scratch. The design studio is where you pick out all the fun stuff, all the coolest stuff in one spot. And they're with you every step to ensure you stay on budget. That's joynerhomes.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and the past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning dealer.
Tech scams, identity thieves, data leaks. Hearing about these online threats every day can be stressful. But don't worry. McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. What does worry-free mean? Well, it means you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
When it's time to renovate, it's time to call Booher, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com, because it's about the process. It's about dealing with professionals who are with you every step of the way, communicating how things work. The best craftsmen and professionals who have been doing kitchens and bathrooms in Indianapolis for 2 decades. Talk to Booher Remodeling today about how they work and why it will work for you and your new kitchen. Call 317-852-5546, 852-5546, or online at Booher, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com.
One of the real advantages that we have here at Hendricks is the scope of the services that we have to offer in orthopedics.
Whether they have a hip fracture or they're a high-functioning athlete, we're all working towards the same thing.
To have them be able to have an elective surgery safely and then go home also in a safe fashion is of utmost importance.
We very much want everyone to get back to doing everything that they were doing beforehand. We're really invested in it.
Unstoppable orthopedic care. Learn more at hendricks.org/ortho.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
Love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
This hour powered by bwindow.com, where their annual 52% off Black Friday has been extended.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
You're a mean one. Oh, I know this song. Mr. Grinch. Hey, I'm Nigel. Hammer's over there. Special in-studio guest. Brought gifts, actually. Wow.
And you'll see why we've got this music playing in the background here in just a second. Jen Watterson of Huse Culinary joins us. Friend of the show. You've been up here a time or two before. How you doing?
Good, great. Good afternoon.
Get a little closer to that microphone.
Sorry
right there.
about that.
There you go. There
Good
you go.
afternoon. Happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Reset who Huse Culinary is. Maybe somebody's listening for the first time and they know, I think, the names of your establishments, but they didn't know that Huse was, overseeing the whole thing.
Yes. So Huse Culinary started off with St. Elmo back from 1902, and we have other sister restaurants, Harry and Izzy's, 1933 Lounge, and HC Tavern and Kitchen, and we will be opening some 1933 Lounge in Carmel next year, along with new split HC 1933 Lounge in the Indianapolis Airport next year as well.
I've still not been to the 1933 Lounge yet.
You're missing out.
My dad and his wife go all the time, and they say the food's tremendous too.
Yes, and the people watching is phenomenal up there.
Gotta go there, man. Gotta go.
I think your definition of people watching might be different than mine. Like, I grew up in Beech Grove, then went to school in Muncie. So when you tell me people watching, I think it's a little different than maybe what you see on the average.
You might be surprised.
So let's talk about one of these places, HC Tavern and Kitchen in Fishers. I think you guys did this last year, right? This real festive Grinch theme type of deal, right?
Yes.
The Whoville thing, right?
The Whoville Hideaway. This year we're going to the Sweet Life. We're doing the Nutcracker Suite. So everything is all themed after the Nutcracker. And it is all cocktails this year. We've got 8 different cocktails, all themed around the Nutcracker.
Okay, so it's not Whoville.
No Whoville this year. We are Grinched out.
Okay.
We're done.
Last year. Okay, so it's not. You're mixing it up then.
Yes.
The Nutcracker.
It makes it more fun.
Really cool.
Yes.
Got it. So we've got a bevy of Christmas cocktails, holiday cocktails here, but Tell us how, when we go to the HC Tavern and Kitchen and Fishers, how do we get to this special area and like what's the time that it's available?
Yes. So the Nutcracker Suite is open on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays from 4 p.m. to close. It is 21 and over only.
Okay.
And is only cocktails. So I would recommend making your dinner reservation for the restaurant and then stopping into the suite either before or after your dinner for the cocktails.
Little dessert after dinner cocktail.
Yes.
Sure.
Oh, my wife is going to love this. She is the crazy Christmas lady, right? So, like, she likes to go out, have a dinner, and then afterwards we can do festive stuff with cocktails and Christmas. Like, those are part of the 2 C's she enjoys.
Yes.
There are others. We'll get into that later. So what do we have right here?
So for the Nutcracker Suite, I brought you the Toasty Nutcracker. It's a toasted marshmallow old-fashioned.
Okay, I want you to put that in front of that camera right there.
I got it too up in front of mine there. We're on the
Just
YouTube.
show the YouTube crowd the camera there.
So we have a roasted marshmallow, some orange zest. In the restaurant, it has a fancy glass with, some more fun Instagrammable garnishes.
Right.
But we have our Rare Saint whiskey and the marshmallow syrup, some chocolate bitters.
Oh, man.
It's nice and fun
See,
to
you
enjoy.
charred the marshmallow for us here.
Yes,
Very
that's
nice.
a tricky one too because.
Now, do I dip the marshmallow in here, or is this just
no,
like...
it's just a garnish enhancement,
Okay.
yeah.
Because, again, you're talking to a guy that took a deep-fried Oreo and dipped it into a beer at the fair, so I wasn't sure what the protocol was here.
How did that go?
Yeah, how did it go?
I won. All right, that's all I'm going to say. I won. Well, I'm going to try
Cheers.
this. Oh, so good. And I don't know what it is, but anytime you have a drink with the round, like, ice ball in there, it's just better. We were talking off the air.
Oh, yeah.
When you hear something is called a potion, and when you've got a round ice cube, it's just better. This is really good.
What's the other one?
What's the other one here?
All right, so the other cocktail is for our Miracle on 82nd Street at Harry and Izzy's North Side. Same concept, 4 to close. This is our Jingle Juice. So
Jingle Juice. We're holding this bad boy up right now.
I heard you guys might like some hiatus tequila. So I brought the hiatus cocktail.
Yeah, okay.
It's almost like you're a professional at this.
It's like I knew.
Big announcement regarding that coming soon.
Yeah, I know it. And so this has got the tequila. It's got apricot liqueur, blood orange juice, lemon, rosemary. Just nice and festive.
It looks
and
so
bright.
pretty. I almost don't want to drink it because it looks like something you would see like.
No. You drink it.
You drink it.
I mean,
You
you,
drink it and you
admire
like
it,
it.
you drink it in. Just taste it.
Oh my God, that is so good. Wow, that is
Now,
amazing.
Their pop-up is open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday from 4 p.m. to close.
Oh, man.
Same deal, 21 and over.
Which one was that?
At Harry and Izzy's North Side. That's
Okay.
Miracle on 82nd Street.
Yep.
So, or
Been
Spin on Miracle of 34th Street. Very like New York themed kind of Christmas, like your Christmas in New York City.
Excellent.
Jen, all I'm going to say is the YouTube crowd, they love the drinks and they're like, oh my God, is this woman single? Like you have won over the YouTube crowd here.
Yes.
All right. There we go. We got a bowl game, Nige. All right. One more time, reset where everybody can get this information.
This information can be found on our websites at thehctavern.com, I believe, and harryandizzies.com. And yeah, we're open and ready and decorated and festive.
All right, man. Jen,
for
thank
coming
you
in.
so much.
Thanks for
Appreciate
having
you.
me.
You got it. That is Jen Watterson of Huse Culinary. Go check it out. HC Tavern and Kitchen in Fishers. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Still plenty of time to get a new coating in your garage floor for the cold weather season. If your garage floor is cracked and dirty and dusty and uneven and has not been maintained and was over 40 years old like mine, wouldn't it be nice to have a brand new coating, smooths everything out? It's not slippery. It's 4 times as strong. That's what Galaxy Concrete Coatings did for my garage. My new Galaxy Concrete garage floor coating is out of this world. They did such an awesome job. I want to have them back into my basement to take a look at the concrete in my furnace room. Galaxy Concrete Coatings can do your garage, basement, pool deck, any indoor, outdoor area. Concrete, lifetime warranty, not that you'll need it. Check out the website and see pictures. Get a quote, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or call them 751-9070.
Hey, listen, are you a 50-year-old person looking for term life insurance? Then you need to talk to Bob. Bob specializes in helping people find $1 million or more of term life insurance for a couple of $100 a month. Look, you need to know there's a price war in the term life insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call Bob, and he'll shop and see how much money he can save you. Look, this could be the last term life insurance policy you ever have. Your rates are guaranteed for the next 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rates for the next 20 years. And if you're a smoker or your health is not perfect, Bob has great rates for you too. So for $1 million of term life insurance coverage for a couple of $100 a month, call Bob right now. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. That's 800-890-5075. Paid for by Term Direct.
An evening with legendary comedian Jeff Foxworthy.
But they have a rule in my neighborhood. If you walk your dog and your dog does his business in somebody else's yard, you need to get a little plastic bag, pick it up, and dispose of it. So you drive through my neighborhood, and there's all these attractive women walking around with poo-poo purses.
Friday, February 21st, Fisher's Event Center. Live at the annual Hamilton Southeastern Education Foundation Legacy Celebration. Tickets on sale 10 a.m. Friday at fisherseventcenter.com.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why your furnace is working double time. 20 degrees with some clouds over the circle and a clear radar. 15 is your low tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:31. It's cold. Cody Moore with the National Weather Service can help explain why.
It's a massive area of low pressure that's in southern Ontario, and you just have this big trough. So you have winds wrapping around the low pressure. We're getting northwest winds here in Buffalo. They're getting southwest winds right off the lake.
Moore says it could get a little bit better this weekend. Temperatures expected to get back up into the 40s in a couple of days. An alarm company is who notified Wayne Township firefighters about a fire at a home this morning along Mars Hill Street.
So they went immediately inside and found an elderly female on the couch, disoriented and unable to take care of herself. So they grabbed her off the couch and pulled her out to safety and put her in an awaiting ambulance to be transported off to an area hospital.
Captain Eric Bannister says the woman was one of several people inside the home. A couple of pets were also rescued, and investigators are trying to figure out what caused the fire. Some folks in California may be feeling some aftershocks after an earthquake hit offshore near the Oregon state line. A tsunami warning had been issued, has since expired. No reports of injuries or major damage anywhere yet. The Biden administration says it is not true that Israel, that reports, or rumors rather, of Israel committing genocide in Gaza are not true. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
In a nearly 300-page report, Amnesty International says Israel is carrying out a genocide in Gaza, calling Israel's military operations unlawful and causing unprecedented harm to Palestinians. State Department spokesman Vedant Patel says the administration disagrees with those conclusions.
We have said previously and continue to find that the allegations of genocide are unfounded.
But Patel says that assessment does not change concerns about the humanitarian situation in Gaza or the number of civilian casualties. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
An Indiana Congresswoman Victoria Spartz is remembering the life of an Elwood police officer who was killed about 2 years ago. That's Noah Shanavet.
Tragically, on July 31, 2022, Noah's life was cut short during a routine traffic stop. He was ambushed and fatally shot by an individual with a violent criminal history.
Sparks proposed a bill to rename the post office in Elwood after him yesterday. It was unanimously passed by the House. It heads to the Senate next. Traffic and weather in 60 seconds. It's 3:34.
Hey, it's Rob. If you want to grow your hair back, check out the precision and accuracy of the Artist Robotic FUE at We Grow Hair Indy. You'll be amazed at the permanent natural results you can get and get back to work ASAP. Darren Andrews, Clinic Director of We Grow Hair Indy, is here to tell us more.
The Artist Robotic FUE hair transplant that we grow here, Indy, one of the most sophisticated hair transplant procedures available. The accuracy and the precision of the Artist Robotic FUE is what clients love the most. Get the results you want with our Artist FUE or multi-unit hair grafting procedure.
Don't wait. Call today and find out more about the Artist Robotic FUE at WeGrowHairIndy.com. Call 317-522-2995 for your hair evaluation. 317-522-2995 or go to WeGrowHairIndy.com and grow your hair back today.
With traffic at 335, what's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison looking at southbound 65, a little bit slow now, 29th to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slow from Harding Street into the South Split, and on the southeast side, southbound 465, a little congestion running from 74 to Arlington Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Come see Pierce Jewelers' breathtaking selection of sparkling lab-grown diamonds. Refined to perfection and value, it's the choice in diamonds. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Sunny but cold throughout much of the day. We will see breezy conditions with gusts at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Highs only near 23, but feels like temperatures into the teens. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Manhunt still underway for that killer of the healthcare executive, Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, the largest healthcare insurer in this country by far. And the footage is just devastating. It's chilling. This poor guy, 6:45 in the morning, walking outside a hotel in New York. Lunatic comes up behind him with a gun, mask on. It looked like he had a silencer on that gun from what it looked like, and shot him in the leg and then in the back.
And we're finding out a little bit more information now. If you go on social media, I'm sure you can find these photos, but they released a couple of them with his face exposed today. Geeky, white dude. I'm going to sneeze, so hold on. I fought it off. All right, there we go. Thank you. Just geeky, average, basic white dude. He's got his mask pulled down at one point, and he's like smiling. Also, he left a fake ID. He left some fingerprints on a burner phone. But this is the most bizarre part of it all. ABC News was the one that broke this story, that he wrote things on the shell casings left at the scene. The shooter wrote deny, defend, depose on the shell casings that were left. And I guess those words come from a book about how insurers don't pay claims. So this was clearly a message being sent here, but that's some wild stuff.
Is it a message, or is it a red herring? Is it a misleading, distracting clue? Was there some other nefarious reason why this happened? I mean, does the shooter want us to think, or the cops to think, that this is a disgruntled person that was denied a claim, for instance, from United Healthcare?
Now,
I mean, maybe I'm thinking way too much into it.
But you can't rule anything out at this point because the whole thing is so bizarre.
It is.
And his wife yesterday, the wife of the victim, had stated that they had received death threats in the past. But then again, this is a guy of major stature. So is that common, for a man of that many zeros in the bank account, right? But then today we learned that his wife had kind of been estranged and moved away from him. Now, they were in the same city, I think just a couple blocks away, but they were not together. So this is all like part of some, TV murder mystery thing right now. Police are trying to put all the puzzle pieces together.
You got to feel horrible for the guy's family. He's got kids. The wife mentioned that she's really not too, she knew about death threats. She didn't know specifics. She's still concentrating on her grieving family. One of the things that I was wondering about are these high-level executives in security. Not that a bodyguard or any level of security could have protected him from a random or not so random guy sneaking up behind him and pulling the trigger. But you do have to wonder, these guys are public figures, whether they like it or not. And they're a lot more high profile, I have a feeling, than they think they are. At least some of them. Maybe some of them have giant egos and like the security and like having a bodyguard, but maybe some of them feel like it's overkill. Nobody knows who I am. But honestly, would you be able to recognize the 50-year-old CEO of the world's or the country's largest health insurer?
No idea. No idea. None. But somebody clearly knew where he was, because where he was leaving at that hour of the morning wasn't like he was leaving the office, right? It was a situation where somebody had to have clearly given the gunman information about where he was going to be.
When do you think, I mean, I'm already reading articles here and there about police have like search warrants. They appear to be closing in on his identity, stuff like that. I mean, how long is it going to take before police and detectives get this guy, law enforcement, FBI, whatever?
It feels like they always have a lot of stuff lined up before the public finds out, right? Like one of the most fascinating things I learned doing the jury duty case that I did, about 10 years ago, the way they can track these bad guys. I mean, it is wild. They can chase you down. They know exactly where you're at, and it doesn't take that long. So I'm willing to bet they probably know who this guy is already, but they're going to wait until they get all their ducks in a row before leaking, because that's how this works, leaking information to the New York Post or the New York Times.
Have you watched the entire clip of the guy shooting him? I unintentionally saw it once on Twitter, but most of the time the news coverage has the shooter sneaking up behind the guy, and it kind of like it pauses, on news, right? On the news coverage, they don't show the victim falling to the ground or anything like that. It just kind of shows him, and you see the gun kind of cock back just a little bit, and then the victim kind of, because he shot him in the calf first, I believe. Or maybe, I don't know which happened first, the back or the calf leg, but you kind of see him kind of just like a sliver of a segment. And it's chilling just to watch that because they don't show the whole thing on the news.
Right.
They go right up to that line, though. It's awful.
Now, we're going to have to speak to Guy Relford once we know more information, because Fox, they had a bulletin that says their sources say it was an unusual gun used in this situation. Now, I don't know what to make of that. Maybe all criminals use an, uncommon type of gun. I don't know. This dude could be a mastermind. He could be a numbnuts. I honestly don't know. But there's a lot more information that we know today that we didn't know yesterday.
According to ABC News, the gun has not been recovered. Police believe the shooter was using what's known in Great Britain as a well-rod pistol, which does not have a silencer, but a long barrel that enables a 9mm to fire a nearly silent shot. This is, of course, according to ABC News earlier today.
So like an old Western, type of gun, that would fall in the uncommon category, I guess. But so, we'll keep an eye on this and pass on any information. In the meantime, we have got a hypocrisy alert. Now, make sure you're sitting down. To quote the officers that had to deal with Randy Travis, I want you to be prepared.
I want you to prepare yourself. That's Randy Travis naked on the back of that truck.
Oh, no. I want you to be ready, because not all heroes wear capes. Joy Reid may be a hypocrite, Nige.
The crazy race lady, as Tucker calls her on MSNBC, she is poison, man.
She looks just
awful.
like Wesley Snipes' character in Demolition Man now. She got the wig off. She's going with the short, blonde hair. She looks like Wesley Snipes' character in Demolition Man. Let's hear her thoughts on presidential pardons, all right? I got two clips here for you.
Okay.
The first one is from December of 2020. This is when Donald Trump was getting ready to exit the White House. He had lost the election to Joe Biden. And there was some chatter that he might put a preemptive pardon on himself or members of his inner circle. Now, listen to that and compare that to what Joy Reid said yesterday.
The presidential pardon was originally meant to grant the president the power to temper justice with mercy. It was not enshrined in our Constitution so that a dishonorable man could reward his criminal allies, friends, and family for their corrupt practices. I don't have a problem with Biden pardoning his son. He should have pardoned him. The crazies are coming, right? But to me, it's like, pardon more.
Oh, come on. Really?
Wait a minute. That last part, I'm assuming that last part, of course, was more recent.
Yesterday.
But in 2020, she was saying something completely different. Wow, I'm glad I was sitting down for that. I'm starting to feel a little lightheaded.
The pardon isn't meant for your family and criminal buddies. Unless Biden does it, then hell, do more. Could you play that just one more time for us, Allison?
Please.
We have to hear this again because it's so ridiculous.
The presidential pardon was originally meant to grant the president the power to temper justice with mercy. It was not enshrined in our Constitution so that a dishonorable man could reward his criminal allies, friends, and family for their corrupt practices. I don't have a problem with Biden pardoning his son. He should have pardoned him. The crazies are coming, right? But to me, it's like, pardon more.
Pardon more.
Whoa.
Pardon more.
How do you look at yourself in the mirror? I guess when you got that many dollar signs in your bank account, you'll say anything.
Maybe Joy Reid's argument is, well, that was Joy Reid with a wig back in 2020.
Okay.
Now I'm bald-headed Joy Reid, and it's completely different.
It makes no difference whatsoever.
Speaking of MSNBC, they've had to have Morning Joe and his wife Mika apologize after one of their guests was ripping Pete Hegseth and Fox News. Did you see this?
Yeah, it was the guy, the From guy. I think his name's from the Atlantic. Yeah.
That liberal rag the Atlantic.
Yeah. Well, this is, again, with Joy Reid, at least she knows her audience. She don't want to piss them off. Like Morning Joe and Mika, they pissed off their progressive left-wing base by going and kissing the ring of Donald Trump. So I know what Joy Reid was doing. She was like, oh, boy, I better keep my audience. I know what butters my bread. But these guys in the morning, something totally different. So they had to issue an apology or something for one of their guests.
Right. So I'll play both here. You're going to hear the Atlantic guy talking about Pete Hegseth and Fox News. And then we'll, fast forward a few minutes later, right before they go to a commercial break, Joe and Mika got to do some damage control.
Just given what one sees on camera, if you're too drunk for Fox News, you're very, very drunk indeed. So that's alarming.
Before we go to break, a little bit earlier in this block, there was a comment made about Fox News in our coverage about Pete Hegseth and the growing number of allegations about his behavior over the years and possible addiction to alcohol or issues with alcohol. The comment was a little too flippant for this moment that we're in. We just want to make that comment as well. We want to make that clear. We have differences in coverage with Fox News, and that's a good debate that we should have often. But right now, I just want to say there's a lot of good people that work at Fox News who care about Pete Hegseth, and we'll want to leave it at that.
You called Fox viewers and supporters of Fox Nazis for 4 years, but now you see all of your competition hemorrhaging viewers. MSNBC's down 30%. CNN's down 30%. Morning Joe and Mika are the only show trying to say, well, maybe we should be a little nice to Trump here.
Yeah, and I know we got to hit a break, but they do this on purpose, though. It happens on The View as well. They smear and libel whoever they want, whenever they want, and then they go and issue a half-assed apology with some smirk as they're reading a legal note from their team backstage, and that's how they get away with it.
They still get the story out there, but then they can act like they're virtuous afterwards. Yep. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, hello, it's Matt Bear. You navigate the unpredictability of rush hour every day with no problems. Then there's navigating the unpredictability of a changing economic climate, a whole different story. Call Trajan Wealth today to learn more about your options and limiting risk during times of shifting financial policy, like after an election like now. The consultation is free, so why wait? Trajan Wealth's investment team is constantly checking and looking at the markets for you. And with no limitations on the products they offer, they can focus on your specific situation. Just visit TrajanWealth.com today to get started. Trajan Wealth's investment team will tailor a financial plan to your goals and priorities, and they'll help you square away your risk tolerance or how much you're willing to lose through investing It's different for everyone. What I really like here, being a novice investing my money, is that Trajan Wealth is a fiduciary, meaning they have to act in the best interest of their clients. That makes me feel secure. Call the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth for your free consultation, 317-480-4040, or visit TrajanWealth.com today. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
Your business needs a network it can count on.
Power's out.
Comcast Business has you covered with Wi-Fi backup to help keep your business up and running, even when your power goes out.
Everybody in the warehouse good?
Lights are out, but the Wi-Fi's up. Let's power on.
It's from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Break room, you good?
Can't microwave my burrito, but Wi-Fi's fine. Let's power on.
Power on with the leader in connectivity, Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Learn how to get Comcast Business Internet, Security Edge, and Wi-Fi backup for $59 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement when you add Comcast Business Mobile Unlimited. Plus, for a limited time, find out how to get an $800 holiday bonus prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online to ComcastBusiness.com today. Ends 12/15/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 300 megabit per second internet, Security Edge, and Connection Pro. EcoBill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change.
What is 988?
It's a free 24-hour suicide and crisis lifeline.
With trained crisis specialists offering a listening ear.
For anyone experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis.
Or thoughts of suicide. Specialists have your best interest in mind.
And can connect you to helpful resources.
If you're experiencing a crisis, call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It's someone who gets you.
And it's a way forward.
Discover cancer care that empowers you at Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center by offering the expert, compassionate care you need.
When I was at my lowest, I would have 2 or 3 nurses come in to give me a pep talk, telling me it's okay to feel this way. It's normal, but you have us to support you and you will get through this.
Learn more at ecommunity.com/cancer.
Trusted steel power in the palm of your hand. This holiday season, save $30 on the GTA 26 handheld garden pruner. Now just $149.99. Check off a gift from the top of their wish list and make trimming tree limbs a breeze with a lightweight design and 4-inch cutting bar. Visit your local Steel dealer today or shop online at steelusa.com. Was $179.99 MSRP. Includes battery and charger. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Visa offering our Black Friday extended sale. 52% off, 10% manufacturer rebates, and 18 months, no interest, no payments.
Looking for the hottest trends in jewelry this year? Come to Pierce Jewelers and see their Love to Love collection in lab-grown diamond jewelry. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go. Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Matt Bear, what's going on?
Yeah, Hammer, we have a semi that's broken down on the southeast side. It is southbound 465 at Arlington Avenue. 2 right lanes are blocked. It has leaked about 80 gallons of diesel fuel onto the interstate. I have been told traffic stopped past 74 back to Brookville Road, then slow until Washington Street. I am staying out of that. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. If you are looking for the hottest new trends in jewelry this year, come to Pierce Jewelers and see their Love to Love collection and lab-grown diamond jewelry. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
25 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Nigel, new study ranked the most fun cities in the United States. They used 65 different metrics to figure out what city was the most fun. Which one do you think came in at number 1?
Beach Grove.
It's actually 12.
Okay. Oh, I was wrong. Okay.
Vegas was number 1, Las Vegas, followed by Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, and New Orleans. You want a hot take from me?
Okay.
I'm not a big New Orleans guy.
Never been.
Just, you would think it's got all the things I like decent weather, it's kind of hot.
Gambling,
booze up and down the street.
Yeah.
Bourbon Street stinks. It stinks. And I'm afraid that's what's happening to Vegas now, too, because I talk about this all the time.
The weed.
I like the debauchery, man, but when things start to stink, you got to get out. And that's what's happening to Vegas.
Stank like dank?
Stank like dank.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, Vegas comes in at 1, Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, and New Orleans. I always thought New Orleans was overrated.
What's so special about Orlando? I mean,
Disney.
I guess Disney World, but...
Like the theme parks and all that kind of stuff.
Right. So that's what makes the number 2 most entertaining place in the world?
Because they got a bunch of those parks, like not just Disney. What is it? Like Universal Studios and all that kind of stuff.
Harry Potter.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, holiday heroes. It's a special time of year at Shane Company. As a family business for 4 generations, we know firsthand that fine jewelry is the gift that says it all. From the engagement ring that says, "You're the one," to the diamond tennis bracelet that says, "Thank you for being you." We have the widest selection of fine jewelry gifts, in stock and ready to take home. Come pick out a pair of hand-matched diamond stud earrings or a necklace with a colorful gemstone. Check out our new Bloom collection, one of owner Tom Shane's favorites this year, featuring stunning sapphires, emeralds, or rubies. At Shane Company, every gift and every price range is crafted to our high-quality standards. We have jewelers working in every store to bring your gifts to life, making sure rings fit just right, setting center stones and engagement rings by hand, and engraving your pieces to make your gifts even more special. Your gifts will always be protected with our unmatched free lifetime warranty. Visit shaneco.com and come see us in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This Christmas, as you're picking out gifts for loved ones, take a moment to think about the future gift you can give yourself. The gift of a secure retirement. Howard Bailey Financial is here to help you unwrap the possibilities of peace and confidence. With our free retirement toolkit, you'll get practical steps and insights to plan for the years ahead. From saving strategies to planning tips, this toolkit is like a financial compass for your future. And best of all, it's completely free to download. Don't wait until next year to start planning. Text GIFT to 888-262-1104. Download your free retirement toolkit and give yourself the gift of financial confidence this holiday season. That's GIFT to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Howard Bailey Security, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Hello, this is Don Steffi, Executive Director for the Indianapolis Ballet. 'Tis the season, is it not? Or is it nut? The Nutcracker, a family tradition brought to life by your Indianapolis Ballet. December 19 through the 22nd at the Murat Theater Old National Center. Don't miss this delightful classic for the whole family to enjoy. Brilliant and festive dancing, colorful sets and costumes, Tchaikovsky's beautiful music, and a whole lot more. Indianapolis Ballet's The Nutcracker. Tickets at indieballet.org.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
My husband Bob has Parkinson's and he needs more help now, and I need more support to help him. Thanks to Indiana Pathways for Aging, we're getting the support we need to help him right here at home, like with meal prep and basic personal care and even respite support for me.
Pathways provides Huse Medicaid members, age 60 and over, support for care their way, so they can live life their way. To learn more, eligible members call 87 Pathway 4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. The year-end clearance event is now through Monday. Save 50% off all in-stock and special order Lazy Boy and Smith Brothers with extra discounts for cash and 12 months interest-free financing. That's every sofa, recliner, sectional, plus get a free large Big Green Egg with select Tempur-Pedic and Stearns & Foster mattresses. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus with free delivery.
Coming up in 2 minutes, a woman was rescued from a house fire on the west side this morning. You're not going to be able to watch the sentencing for Richard Allen and why it's going to be a few days before you get any break from this cold weather. Those stories and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
He calls it a redemption story. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Trump nominee for defense chief, Pete Hegseth, just telling reporters on Capitol Hill he's a different man than he was years ago and that meetings with senators have been going well.
I will answer all of these senators' questions, but this will not be a process tried in the media.
Hegseth facing questions about past allegations of sexual and financial misconduct, which he denies.
I'm proud to be here. And as long as Donald Trump wants me in this fight, I'm going to be standing right here in this fight, fighting to bring our Pentagon back to what it needs to be.
Also on Capitol Hill today, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy for meetings on slashing waste.
Ramaswamy attended the first ever Senate Doge caucus meeting where Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt is hoping to make progress on cutting government waste and making government more efficient.
This isn't going to happen overnight, but I do think there's some things that can happen right away.
A report from Doge caucus chair Joni Ernst claims 90% of federal employees telework compared to 3% pre-COVID, with only 6% working in person full-time.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on the Hill. A tsunami warning is lifted along the coast of Northern California and Southern Oregon. It was issued after a magnitude 7 earthquake centered off the coast and felt as far south as San Francisco.
The warnings that were going out were very serious. The city of Berkeley, 250 miles away from the epicenter and where the tsunami would have first come ashore, were telling their citizens, do not wait, get out now.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt, though in some areas people went to the beach.
If you want to look at this as a dry run for the warnings of a big earthquake and a big tsunami coming, I think the alert systems across California appear to have worked very well. The behavior of some Californians perhaps not so well.
So far, no reports of injuries or major damage. A late sell-off on Wall Street. The Dow down 248 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They're not sure how it started. Partly cloudy, 20 degrees on the circle. There's no trouble on your radar. Tonight's low drops to about 15 degrees. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. A fire at a home on the west side this morning. Ryan Hedrick reports on the response and rescue.
An alarm company notified the Wayne Township Fire Department around 6 a.m. about the fire in a neighborhood not far from Troy Avenue. Captain Eric Bannister.
Find a working fire in the residence with smoke showing from bedroom windows and the front door. When they approached the front door, they heard somebody coughing.
And that person was an older woman who was pulled out of the home by fire crews. Other people were rescued as well as a couple of pets. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
IMPD is looking for John McIntosh. He's a 34-year-old. He's been missing since Sunday. Was last seen at East Caven Street. McIntosh is 5'9", 145 pounds with brown hair and blue eyes. Call 911 if you know where he might be. IMPD says he may be in need of medical attention. Could be an emergency situation. There are not going to be cameras in the courtroom when Richard Allen is sentenced for the Delphi murders from 2017. The media had already requested cameras be present for the sentencing, but Special Judge Fran Gull said no. If you remember, when the trial was going on, she did not allow cameras then. Today's cold weather is supposed to stick around for a little bit, says Cody Moore with the National Weather Service.
It's a massive area of low pressure that's in southern Ontario, and you just have this big trough. So you have winds wrapping around the low pressure. We're getting northwest winds here in Buffalo. They're getting southwest winds right off the lake.
It is supposed to warm up a bit by the weekend. Moore says temperatures should reach the 40s in a couple of days. The post office in Elwood may soon be renamed after a police officer who died in the line of duty.
Officer Shanavas was a dedicated public servant, a courageous protector of his community, and a beloved member of the Elwood Police Department.
Noah Chavez was shot and killed during a traffic stop 2 years ago. That was Congresswoman Victoria Spartz, who introduced a bill in the House to rename the Elwood Post Office after Chavez, and that bill was unanimously approved yesterday. It now heads to the Senate. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Hey, it's Rob. If you want to grow your hair back, check out the precision and accuracy of the Artist Robotic FUE at We Grow Hair Indie. You'll be amazed at the permanent natural results you can get and get back to work ASAP. Darren Andrews, Clinic Director of We Grow Hair Indie, is here to tell us more.
The Artist Robotic FUE hair transplant at We Grow Hair Indie, one of the most sophisticated hair transplant procedures available. The accuracy and the precision of the Artist Robotic FUE is what clients love the most. Get the results you want with our Artist FUE or multi-unit hair grafting procedure.
Don't wait. Call today and find out more about the Artist Robotic FUE at WeGrowHairIndie.com. Call 317-522-2995 for your hair evaluation. 317-522-2995 or go to WeGrowHairIndie.com and grow your hair back today.
The traffic on the 5s at 4:05. Here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, big time delay on the southeast side. We have a broken down semi southbound 465 at Arlington Avenue, leaking gallons and gallons of fuel onto the interstate. 2 right lanes are blocked. Traffic is stopped. All the way back to Washington Street, delay time at 42 minutes. Eastbound 70 stop and go from Belmont to the south split. Inbound 65 stop and go 29th to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Expect another bitterly cold night tonight with lows down the mid-teens with wind chills in the single digits. Friday, not much warmer and a touch breezy at times with lots of sunshine as highs find their way into the lower 30s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Man, Hammer, you know, I understand that it's not the worst winter weather we've ever seen, and it's not even the coldest winter weather we've ever seen. But last night seemed like we were like in the Arctic Circle in terms of the wind.
Did you guys get that wind that we got here on the west side? It was like a hurricane, man. It was rattling the house.
Did you have to deflate your inflatables, your Christmas inflatables outside the Hammer household?
Oh, yeah. We're veterans at this. This isn't our first rodeo, kid. So we had those down before I came to work because I knew what the weather was going to be. And, so we had to deflate those. And, man, last night, probably around 8:30 or 9, like, stuff was blowing around the neighborhood, like, hitting the house and stuff. Like, people's trash can lids and stuff were flying off. It was like a tornado almost in the winter.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Arctic Circle. Like you're in Antarctica, and there's just a constant blizzard. That's what, and again, I say that knowing that it was nowhere near what we're describing. It sounded like it.
Right. The sound was brutal, and you're right, we've had colder weather. It's been way colder, but I'm ready for the warm-up because it is going to warm up a little bit, but not for a couple of days.
I love how you're an expert at this. You had the inflatables all gone by the time you went to work because you knew it was coming.
You leave the inflatables up during those types of storms, that's amateur hour. Amateur hour. But on Saturday, looks like temperatures are going to start to rise up a little bit late Saturday afternoon into the evening. And then Monday, we could be looking at temperatures in the low 50s, Nige.
Of course. That's pretty much par for the course Indiana weather.
When you go back to work, that's when the temperature's really going to spike. But we still got another couple days of some pretty chilly December air, but it has been worse. We haven't had the wind chill advisory. We haven't had those situations where you got to leave the sink running a little bit so your pipes don't freeze.
You haven't had your boogers freeze in your nose when you inhale.
Ooh.
You're outside.
The only good part about having to wear those stupid masks during COVID was if it was really cold out, you could just pull it up. Look at that guy. He really cares about others. No, I'm just cold. Walking out of the grocery store, he's even outside and he still has it on. Some people just really care. Did you see this back and forth at this Secret Service hearing in Washington today?
Oh, yeah. They were doing the Donald Trump assassination attempt, Butler, Pennsylvania, trying to figure out, get to the bottom of it, what happened, what went wrong.
This thing, and it was so perfect that this was Thursday because it was off the rails. We got Rob coming up later on, but this, and we're going to play you the audio here in a minute, was totally off the rails. So you have this representative of Texas, Pat Fallon, and he's speaking to the acting Secret Service director, this guy named Ronald Rowe. Now, he's just a surly, unlikable you-know-what. Like, you can just tell he hates everything Republicans, hates everything conservative. He reminds me a little bit, if you remember, of Peter Strzok when he worked at the FBI, one half of the Great Lovers, where he was kind of doing that eye roll and that stupid shimmy with the shoulders.
That wry grin on his face. Yeah.
Right. That's who this dude kind of reminds me of. So let me set the scene here. Fallon, the representative, was ripping the acting Secret Service guy for waiting multiple days before visiting Butler, Pennsylvania, the place where Donald Trump was shot and nearly killed on January 13th, and then presented a photo showing the active Secret Service director standing near the incoming president without a protective agent in view anywhere during the Republicans' visit to New York to mark the anniversary of 9/11. So you've got, Trump and the Republicans, and this guy is supposed to be in charge of taking care of them. They got a picture where it's basically just like he's sightseeing, and there's not a lot of agents around.
I think the congressman here was implying that he was breaking protocol. The Secret Service guy was breaking protocol to get in the photo just to be able to stand behind. I don't know. I saw him behind Biden. It might be Trump. There's several different pictures they showed, but I understand the implications. Like, you broke protocol for this ceremony just to stand behind the president.
And that may have been the case, but the heat that I heard was there were the Republicans there, and he was half-assing the security, which is kind of the whole premise of these hearings. So let's pick it up here. You're going to hear the Secret Service director, the acting Secret Service director first, and then Representative Fallon jumps in.
I actually responded to Ground Zero. I was there going through the ashes of the World Trade Center. I was there at Fresh Kills.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you,
Congressman.
Were you the special agent in charge?
To show respect
you were not.
For a Secret Service member that died on 9/11.
You were trying to be.
Do not invoke 9/11 for political purposes.
I'm not. I'm invoking this.
You are, sir.
Gentlemen,
and you are out of line.
I would like to ask him a question, please.
You are out of line, Congressman.
Don't try to bully me. I am an elected member of Congress, and I'm asking you a serious question, and you are playing politics.
I am a public servant who has served this nation, and you
won't answer the question.
On our day, on our country's darkest day.
Mr. Chairman, will come to order.
This whole courtroom's out of order. I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth. That's where we were going to.
Those two need to get in the ring, man.
I mean, that was off the rails, right? That was just back and forth. Let's pick it back up here because there's more.
Whoa.
Take a listen.
The committee will come to order. I'm asking you serious questions for the American people, and they're very simple. They're not trick questions. Were you the special agent in charge that day?
No, I wasn't. I was there representing the United States Secret Service, sir.
Mr. Fallon, your time's
expired. It did
not
affect protective
operations. You know why you were there? Because you wanted to be visible, because you were auditioning for this job.
I was there to pay respect for a fallen member of this agency.
You endangered President
Biden's life,
Vice President Harris's life, because you put those agents out of position. Mr. Chairman.
You have a radio with you?
Mr. Fallon, your time has expired.
I did, sir, and you are out of line.
Mr. Chairman.
Wow.
I love it. The only thing missing is like the stone cold music shatters and then Kash Patel comes walking out there. By God, that's Kash Patel's music. You're fired and you're fired. Like he starts firing everybody. Sir, you're not even in charge yet.
Oh, I like how the congressman from Texas said that's horse hockey. Is that what he said? Did I hear that correctly in that first clip?
We got a horse hockey out of him. So this brings us to great moments in yelling history here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Listen, this one, we laugh about a lot of this stuff, but this is really important here. Biden's State of the Union address this past year. This was supposed to be Dark Brandon, right? And he was trying to be Johnny Tough Guy. Well, there was a Gold Star father that was in the seating area. And when Biden starts talking about his foreign policy, starts yelling out the name of his loved one that had lost his life under Biden's disastrous foreign policy.
And America is safer today than when I took office. Year before I took office, murder rates went up 30%. 30% they went up. The biggest increase in history. It was then, through my American Rescue Plan, which every American voted against, I might add.
Yeah, good for him.
To have the you-know-what, knowing those people are in the crowd, to say the country is more safe with me in charge. Your incompetence led to his child's death. How dare you, you old bastard? Again, everybody wants to give Joe Biden this pass. Well, he's old. He's senile. I think it's funny that he doesn't like Kamala Harris. He's always been this bad. His whole family's been corrupt, and this is why he's going to start passing out pardons like they're Tic Tacs.
And of course, he was too old to testify about any of the shenanigans.
And by old, you mean stupid. That's really what it is. Here's one that's a little bit more fun. Great moments in yelling history. Let's go back to the 2020 Republican National Convention, the end of Kimberly Guilfoyle's speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, leaders and fighters for freedom and liberty and the American dream, the best is yet to come.
I'm having trouble controlling the volume of my voice!
And if you remember, shortly after that speech, there was the viral sensation called the Guilfoyle Challenge, where people recorded themselves delivering that same speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, leaders and fighters of the American dream, the best is yet to come. Ladies and gentlemen, leaders and fighters of the American dream, the best is yet to come.
And lastly, great moments in yelling history. Nigel, your kids were yelling a little bit.
Really?
But then you started yelling back at them because you were trying to drink a beer.
I'm drinking beer.
Great moments in yelling history.
I forgot about that. Man, Harper's voice sounds so small and tiny and little. Oh my gosh, how long ago was that? That had to have been 2017, 2018. I'm drinking beer.
Drinking beer. Matt Bear.
Southeast side, southbound 465 at Arlington Avenue. A semi is broken down. And the cleanup is taking the two right lanes right now. The semi is leaking fuel onto the interstate, so they're working on that. Traffic is stopped from Arlington Avenue back to Washington Street. Delay time running about 45 minutes. You look at inbound 65, it's stop and go 29th at 2 Meridian Benton. Eastbound 70 slows from Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. And the southwest side, southbound 465, stop and go traffic from 70 to Kentucky Avenue. Traffic sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries, and they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone, AutoZone. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
See if you can you play that audio again of me yelling at the kids? I mean, again, this is a good 6 years ago at least, but I think, see if we can decipher what my daughter is saying at the time. I'm drinking beer. She said something about the White House. Do you know who's going to go to the White House?
It sounded like she said Diddy was going to go to the White House.
Do it again, one more time.
Dad, Julian's going to go to the White House. Dad!
I'm drinking beer. I swear to God, my kids to this day, they're older now. That was 6 or 7 years ago. But if they scream something down at me from the stairs and I don't answer within 2 seconds, Dad! If the follow-up, Dad!
Oh, drinking beer. was kind of your own Guilfoyle challenge right there.
That was great.
24 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Coming up here in just about 15 minutes, Doug Boles, scheduled to join us in studio. I'm hoping he's going to announce the Carb Day concert is Hammer and Nigel Records. Hammer and Nigel Records playing Carb Day.
Cocaine in the Ukraine.
No, we'll talk to him about a lot of fun stuff. Also, Is This Anything is on the way. Do us a favor. Hit like on that YouTube feed. We need 40 more people to give us a thumbs up on the WIBC YouTube. That gets us to 100. Help a couple brothers out. Go to the YouTube, hit like. Is This Anything? Next.
American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard. I would know. I'm an American Standard customer. I only use American Standard Heating and Air dealers. In fact, here's Hammer to tell you about one of those awesome local independent American Standard dealers in Central Indy.
Oh, how about our friends at B&W HVAC, Plumbing, and Electrical in Speedway? The cold weather is here, and that means your furnace is going to be running. But is it safe? Is it ready to keep you warm? B&W's dedicated team of experts will ensure that your heating system is in top shape. So, whether you want your home to be warm and cozy in the winter, or when the summer rolls around, you want the AC to be great, B+W.com. Schedule a time to speak with one of their experts. B+W.com, or just call 317-243-3581. 243-3581. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
No-brainer gift idea for you. It always fits. It's super useful, and best of all, it's just $50. Plus, you get two for the price of one. I'm talking about a classic membership with AAA Hoosier Motor Club. AAA has bailed me out so many times. I've been broken down on the side of the road. I've had my car battery die on me. Flat tires. AAA is there getting me back out on the road ASAP right now. You can get two memberships for the price of one.
And that comes with roadside assistance, 24/7, 365. Get that peace of mind knowing your loved ones are safe out on the road. Plus, travel discounts, complimentary travel planning, and you can also get info on auto, home, life insurance. All you got to do is visit AAA.com/radio to get this deal. AAA.com/radio, or stop by a local AAA office. Two memberships for just $50. Give that gift right now.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi, my entire family's obsessed with all things Wicked, but my kids can't stop watching the trailer, and now they're having a Wicked-themed sleepover. Do you think our internet can handle all of the streaming and memeing going on?
Well, we've engineered our Xfinity gateways to handle hundreds of devices at once, so they can all stay magically connected.
Wow. Are you a wizard?
I wish. No, just someone that won't let a bad connection burst your internet bubble. Now through December 22nd, get Thrillifyingly fast 150 megabit Xfinity internet for just $35 a month for 12 months with no annual contract and free Wi-Fi equipment included. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with Xfinity Mobile at Xfinity.com. Switch today and keep the magic going from your screen to the big screen. And see Wicked in theaters now. Restrictions apply. Requires payable split on auto-pay stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply. Currently $56 a month for internet service and $15 for Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed.
The holiday season is here, and your shopping begins and ends at Premier Arms in Brownsburg. 3754 South Green Street, PremierArms.com. You've got the firearms with Premier Arms, the accessories, all at fantastic prices, new and used firearms, and of course, PA Jewelers, the jewelry store inside Premier Arms with the one-of-a-kind jewelry selection, the diamonds, the gold, the silver, the gemstones, everything you want this Christmas season. Get a gift card today to Premier Arms. It is the gift that they will love this holiday season. PremierArms.com.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
This hour powered by bwindow.com, where their annual 52% off Black Friday has been extended.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Big Nige, is this anything? A California immigrant is being accused of sending $2 million worth of weapons and firearms to Fat Boy in North Korea.
Whoa.
He's a Chinese national living in the United States, and he successfully sent 2 shipments to North Korea. He's looking at 20 years in prison.
That's all?
Here are his neighbors.
I didn't realize, there have crazy people living around us.
You hear about that stuff in the news, but we never thought that we would see something like that.
I couldn't even imagine how he could purchase a weapon and send it to another country.
Oh, not just a weapon, $2 million worth of weapons. I mean, how do you procure that amount, $2 million worth, and then send it? I can't even comprehend that. It makes total. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it does. I mean, the Chinese and the North Koreans, the Chinese kind of mind the North Koreans, hey, they keep them on a tight leash. And now when you consider that North Korea is in cahoots with Russia a little bit, possible North Korean troops on the ground in certain places over there. It is, it's pretty scary that could actually take place. Only 20 years? I mean, isn't that some sort of treasonous activity? Punishable by death?
Right. If you're going to have a charge of treason, it feels like this would be the textbook example of when to use it, right?
I mean, maybe, or if you're a Chinese national, does that mean, can you be charged? I don't know. I couldn't imagine in my head how in the world you would. Have you ever seen the movie Lord of War?
I have not.
With Nicolas Cage, and I think Jared Leto plays his younger brother, and he's an arms dealer. Really, really, really good. Started out small and then just ended up. It may have. I'm trying to think if it was based on a true story or not, but it's kind of like this same deal where buying and selling millions of dollars worth of weapons to whoever can pay the money.
Now, I don't know what this guy's bank account looks like, but I'm just going to think of it from my perspective. If I had $2 million, I sure as hell wouldn't give it all to Fat Boy. There are so many more things you could do with $2 million. Now, $2 million to me is a lot of money. Maybe it's not to this guy, but if you did come in contact with $2 million, would your first instinct be, I bet Kim Jong-un could use this?
Well, that's why I said China. I mean, I wonder if he was acting in any way, shape, or form on the behest of his homeland.
True. That's an interesting
operating
point.
In the United States, actively sending out weapons to our enemy. Whoa.
Yeah, if you're going to have a treason charge, then you absolutely, positively need to do that. Allison, let's do the funeral one here, because I think this is interesting. Is this anything? In a recent survey of about 2,000 people, they named the song they'd played at their funeral. Now, some are pretty obvious, some are pretty odd.
Okay.
Here's an example of some of their top 15 choices from this big survey.
Okay, I got it.
All right.
So beautiful. Imagine there's no heaven.
Yes, it was my way.
Maybe.
Little Frank.
Ain't there nothing I can do to say, doctor, to relieve this bellyache.
Don't come around tonight. It's bound to take your day. There's a bad moon on the
right. At my funeral, just, I want kegs on both sides of the room and EDM music playing.
You want to put the fun back into funeral?
Sure.
I'm good with that.
But
good with that.
having the Beatles or John Lennon, imagine there's no heaven. Oh, that's incredibly depressing. No.
Right. Everything everything John Lennon did was depressing. look at the Christmas songs, right? So the Beatles are super successful, right? Paul McCartney, John Lennon, they're the face of the band, right? You can argue about who the real front man was. McCartney does a Christmas song, simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Everybody's clapping, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And here comes Lennon. Oh, war is over. Soldiers are dead. So this is Christmas. Just sucking the life right out of the room. That's all John Lennon did was suck the life right out of the room.
All right.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Making memories this holiday season with Diamonds Direct. You can find something beautiful, something timeless, something that lasts forever with Diamonds Direct. Lots of amazing gift ideas. We're talking like eternity bands, classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from world-class designers. Maybe you're just looking for an engagement ring. Not just. I mean, that's a big deal, right? I mean, make it a Christmas engagement. Diamonds Direct has the engagement ring for you. Or how about maybe a cool Swiss timepiece? At Diamonds Direct, they have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around just $300.
Diamonds Direct. Oh my goodness, they are the one-stop shop for all your holiday jewelry needs. Engagement rings if you're thinking about popping the question, or how about just a beautiful diamond because. Biggest selection, lowest prices, Diamonds Direct. Keystone at the Crossing. Stop by, tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
You'll be talking to family and friends on the phone during the holidays, so make sure everyone enjoys the conversation, including those with hearing loss. RelayIndiana.com provides captioned telephones that allow the hard of hearing to have normal phone conversations through voice recognition technology. The other person's words appear on an easy-to-read screen. Don't let those with hearing loss become isolated during the holidays. Get the CapTel captioned telephone from Relay Indiana. Learn more at RelayIndiana.com.
Indiana Pathways for Aging helps Hoosier Medicaid members age 60 and over get support at no additional cost to live life their way.
Mom's Parkinson's is progressing, and Pathways provides in-home support so she can be with family every day.
Pathways coordinates Medicaid and Medicare services. I'm getting help with meals, personal care, and transportation.
One day, I might choose a nursing home, but today, I have options with Pathways.
To learn more, eligible members call 87 Pathway 4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
It's Hammer and Nigel for Window Nation. Tired of turning up the heater this winter? The condensation and chilly drafts coming through your old windows? You need new ones. And now during Window Nation's end of the year sale, get 50% off all style windows with a bonus 10% off. Plus, you could get 0 interest for 6 years. Just imagine what you could do with all those savings. Hurry, sale ends December 31st, so schedule your fast in-home estimate right now at 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What did you expect in December? Partly cloudy and 22 degrees downtown. There's no trouble on your radar. It's only going to get colder tonight, low of 15. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. Don't expect things to get any warmer anytime soon.
Highs are only going to be in the low to mid-20s. Probably one of the coldest days of the season so far across central Indiana. And with it being a bit windy, too, throughout the day, wind chills will probably make it only feel like it's in the teens.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service. He says it will at least, or at least it should, be above freezing by the time you get to the weekend. There won't be any cameras in the courtroom when Richard Allen is sentenced for killing 2 girls in Delphi in 2017. Ryan Hedrick reports.
The request was made by the media, who was shunned once again by Special Judge Fran Gull, who denied cameras at every turn in the case. Allen was convicted last month of killing Abby Williams and Libby German in Delphi in 2017. During the weeks-long trial that ended last month, there were no cameras in the courtroom, and reporters had to share notes at the end of each day just so you could know what was happening in court. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Defense Secretary nominee Pete Hegseth is talking to reporters about accusations of impropriety and a drinking problem.
It's very interesting what the press likes to dub a whistleblower report, which some others might clarify as a email from a disgruntled employee.
Hegseth is also accused of mismanaging the finances of a veterans group. He's on Capitol Hill today trying to earn some votes before a Senate confirmation process begins. A large earthquake and some aftershocks were felt in northern California today near the Oregon state line.
So far, we don't have any reports of damage or injuries as a result of the earthquake and the shaking.
San Francisco Fire Captain Justin Shore, a tsunami warning was announced after and then later canceled. And a proposal is being considered to more than double how much Bloomington City Council members would make. A salary committee is looking over the plan that would it's a salary committee, that's looking over the plan that would increase salaries from $21,000 to $45,000. The city council members would become the highest paid members in the state. And a tough day on the market after a positive one yesterday. The Dow down by 248, closing at 44,765. The Nasdaq falling by 34 to close at 19,700, and the S&P 500 down by 11 to 6,075. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:34.
This Christmas, as you're picking out gifts for loved ones, take a moment to think about the future gift you can give yourself. The gift of a secure retirement. Howard Bailey Financial is here to help you unwrap the possibilities of peace and confidence. With our free retirement toolkit, you'll get practical steps and insights to plan for the years ahead. From saving strategies to planning tips, this toolkit is like a financial compass for your future. And best of all, it's completely free to download. Don't wait until next year to start planning. Text GIFT to 888-262-1104. Download your free retirement toolkit and give yourself the gift of financial confidence this holiday season. That's GIFT to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Howard Bailey Security, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
With traffic at 4:35, what's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison Southeast Side, a semi is broken down on southbound 465 near Arlington Avenue. 2 right lanes are blocked. There's also a fuel spill they're working on cleaning up right now. Traffic is stopped back to Washington Street. Delay time running about 55 minutes. Also on the south side, eastbound 465 stop and go traffic from 70 past Kentucky Avenue. Slow again from South Meridian over to Emerson Avenue. Coming into downtown from the west side, eastbound 70 stop and go Tibbs Avenue into the south. Split, and then inbound 65 slow off MLK to Meridian Penn. 6-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. If you are looking for the hottest new trends in jewelry this year, come to Pierce Jewelers and see their Love to Love collection in lab-grown diamond jewelry. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Expect another bitterly cold night tonight with lows down in the mid-teens with wind chills in the single digits. Friday, not much warmer and a touch breezy at times with lots of sunshine as highs find their way into the lower 30s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
I got you.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Okay, a bunch of stuff we're still keeping our eye on, Hammer. That tsunami warning off the northern coast of California was canceled. There's a big earthquake there off the coast, like 7-point-something magnitude. But luckily, there was a warning there, tsunami warning, but that has been canceled. Manhunt still underway for the killer of that United Healthcare executive in basically broad daylight. It was about 6:45 in the morning. This guy walked up to the CEO of United Healthcare, it took him out. Looked like he coordinated. I say coordinated. It looked like it was targeted.
Right.
I think the police pretty much said, yes, this was a targeted hit. Also keeping an eye on Donald Trump's nomination for Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, who is a military guy, spent time in Iraq. And, of course, the left their heads are spinning that this is Donald Trump's choice. Lots of accusations of alcoholism. He had some accusations of assault back in his single days, and he's steadfast. He's sticking through it. Donald Trump said to hold firm, and Hegseth goes, I talked to a bunch of senators today, and I'm going to try this out. I'll answer any questions they want in front of the Senate, but I'm not going to do this in the media. So
fighting back against these people is how you beat them. Because remember, Kavanaugh never was one to apologize.
Sure.
Because they did the exact same thing to Brett Kavanaugh. And they made him out to be this deviant.
Yep.
They made him out to be a drunk, all this kind of stuff. They were bringing up high school yearbooks. Yeah. So as long as you don't bend the knee to these folks, you've still got a puncher's chance. Look who just walked in the studio here.
Hey!
Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Doug Boles, joins us.
I was thinking maybe we should start yelling. I liked all the yelling stuff. I was thinking maybe that could be kind of fun, right? We'll tell Roger to say, "Gentlemen, start your engines," like really loud and scream this year.
Start your engines!
Although I guess it's drivers start your engines now.
Right. I'm sorry.
I'm
Yes,
sorry. That was
I'll go
my
back.
fault. I've been around too long that I still.
Doug, how much? We'll get to everything in a minute. I'm just off the top of my head. How much on a week-to-week basis? How much do you keep in contact with the owner of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Roger Penske? I mean, is it slow down here in the winter months, or does it pick back up? Or
Well, it depends on how you decide contact. There is some sort of communication every day.
Okay.
I would say that phone communication this time of year is a couple times a week. Text communication and email is at least every day.
Wow.
In fact, he sent a nice one of our staff sent a really nice note to Roger, and Roger sent him a note back, and had the little muscle emoji in it. And it's so much fun at our office when the 80-plus-year-old boss is sitting around muscle emojis and happy emojis and
right.
The face with the 2 starry eye emojis. We get those a lot. It's really fun. I mean, he's amazing. He does all his own emails and text messages, and he is 24 hours a day. That's for sure.
How long did it take him to learn who you were? Because like when we started doing this afternoon show, Jeff Smulyan was the owner of this building, the owner of the radio station. And I swear for 5 years when I'd see him in the hallway, he'd think I was a contest winner. Oh, did you win tickets on Hank? No, I do your afternoon show, but thanks.
Well, I knew Roger obviously from before. So for me, he knew who I was as president of the Speedway, but it's when he first bought the Speedway, he spent a lot of time with Mark Miles and with me, but he spent a lot of time with staff. He would have us bring staff on tours of the facilities. He's trying to learn what the facility is, and he didn't want facility people. Some of them were facility people, but he'd say, get the ticketing person, get the suite person, get somebody from IT, and it's amazing how quick he learns names. That's one of his gifts. Is he sees you, he knows your name, and even fans will come up, and while oftentimes he won't really remember their name, he will remember an instance of something that had happened with that person. It's really pretty impressive. It's one of those things I wish that I could do, right? That you could just have that recall that he has.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the last time you ran into Nigel, he was yelling at you in the voting line, trying to get you to run for public office. Is that accurate?
I don't think he was yelling, but he asked something like, "When are we going to get to vote for you at some point in time?"
When's your name going to be on the ballot?
And I think we were. How long did we stand in line? Like 45 minutes.
There at the Zionsville Town Hall.
Maybe a little longer than that.
Yeah.
But we did our civic duty and voted, and I think I told you. I think I told you that I like my constituency, and I'm very happy in the job that I have.
I get it. I understand completely.
Because when I'm out at the Speedway in May, and I'm there a lot, I see people wearing shirts that say "Doug Boles is my president,"
which is still super embarrassing when that happens.
No.
Right? It is pretty crazy when that happens. But I think really it's as much that our fans know that I'm a fan, and as I start looking through everything, the decisions we make, the numbers are important, but when you start with numbers, it usually doesn't work well. So you have to start with the fans and try and do the things that work well for the fans.
Can you? Well, we'll get to the reason why you stopped by here in just a second. Can you believe we're just what are we? 5 months? 6? Just under 6?
Yeah. We are 171 days from the 109th running of the Indy 500. Actually, we're 170 days and about 18 hours from the start right now, but. Yeah, it's coming up. 93 days until the NTT IndyCar Series is back on track at St. Petersburg. It'll be tomorrow. I was a little disappointed, and the reason I was late is because I hesitated as I was pulling out. I think last time I was here, I brought beer. But I think that was a Friday, and it's okay on Fridays, right? So I'm a day early, so I decided, okay, I'm not going to go back.
We got plenty in the back.
Okay,
it doesn't
good.
matter.
Spoiler, it's okay any day, Doug. I'm just going to throw that out there. Just letting you know that, right? Doug Boles of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is here. They got a really cool promotion going on for the holidays here. Before we get to that, one more thing here. This past year, being out at the Indy 500, watching that finish with the sunset was something I never even thought about in my life. But when it happened, it was just such a beautiful thing, man. It was so strong. The sun was setting right at the finish. When you look back at this past year of all the action at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, what comes to mind?
Just how proud I am of the team that dealt with all of the challenges of the weather, how proud I am of our fans. 163,000 people had scanned into the venue when we told them they all needed to leave. So you got 163,000 people who are already there. You ask them to leave. And then you thought, okay, how many people are... First of all, we didn't know we were going to be able to bring them back, right? And we were doing everything we could to get the race in, because it's even worse if you have to have people come back the next day and people that have traveled and have flights, and you're trying to avoid that situation. And when the race started to have almost all of those 350,000 people still in the venue...
It looked full. From my seats, I looked around, it looked just like the start of the race normally.
It was crazy because when I thought, okay, when this thing starts, we're going to see big gaps and people will have gone home, and I wouldn't have blamed them. And part of the reason that we lifted the delay and said, let's have it live is because I told Roger, I said, look, we need to lift it because a lot of people are going to have come here and realize that they've got babysitters or they've got family issues or other things. We need to make sure that those people have an opportunity to see the race. And actually, when we went out, I thought, gosh, I cannot believe how many people are here. And I asked Joseph Newgarden last night. We unveiled his face for the second time on the Borg Warner Trophy. And it's one of the things I asked him. I said, did you notice? So I get a really cool opportunity. I get to drive the front pace car at those first couple of laps at the start of the Indy 500. Yeah. So and then I pull off because they are afraid I'll stay out there. But for me, I'm always amazed at how many fans are on the spectator mound. So I fully expected getting out there that it wouldn't feel the same. And it was amazing how it felt. And I said something to Joseph. I said, I know you're focused, but do you notice that? And he said, oh, my gosh, because you run all month, you don't have that many people there. And then you get there and there's this huge crowd. He said, I could not believe that everybody came back. It was really, really cool. But just really proud of the team and the effort that they put in to just make it happen.
Give the gift of May. That is the promotion going on right now. It includes tickets to the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500 presented by Gainbridge. Tell us a little bit about this package.
Well, the biggest thing for us is, I want to give the gift of May all year long, right? And so as we start thinking about the holiday season and ways to really give to folks, it's really important for us to remind people that the Indy 500 is around the corner. And if you didn't renew your tickets or you've never had tickets, this is the best time to get tickets, the best prices. We waive a few fees and some things that relate to that, so to try and make it easy. So for us, we're just trying to remind people it's a great way. It's a great way to go ahead and have an opportunity to get people to the Indianapolis 500. Our ticket sales are better than they've ever been. I still think last year, had that last 5-day forecast not been 100% rain, carb day, 100% rain Saturday, and then on Sunday, that we would have sold out our reserve seats for the Indy 500, and I think we'll do that this year. So it's kind of important to do that. And it's spring, right? So we've been caged up, so we got to make sure that we get out and we're ready to go and get ready. So this is just our reminder that it's a great gift all the time.
Well, something Nigel and I talk about a lot is I think the reason why your ticket sales keep going up every year and people like what you guys are doing is because of the way you handle business. Like, if there's a problem out at the track, you're there. You're not just somebody that gets on the phone. Like, I've been out there at the track because I live out there in May. I'm in it to win it. I'm a total Hoosier, right? Like, there are times where you don't know I'm there, but I'm sitting there and I see you taking a million selfies with people. You're running around the track. You're lifting stuff up.
Didn't I see you climbing over a fence in your suit and tie once?
I did that during the eclipse because I was trying to. We had 50,000 people came for the eclipse, right? And my family was actually watching from the driver owner lot, and I was trackside, and I was going to stay trackside, and I thought, I don't really have anything to do for the next 20 minutes. I should go watch this with my family. And so I'm running in one of the gates there between where I was going, and it's one of those tall ones. I've got my key out, and I'm like, have I been fired? My key doesn't work anymore. And I'm panicked, so I end up climbing over the fence. And ultimately what was happening, I was hurrying so much that the key, I just didn't. I wasn't patient, didn't take my time there, but that's what it was. I was climbing it.
There's going to be a montage one day of you fixing the track during the Brickyard race, climbing the fence during the eclipse, and all that stuff.
Well, for me, it is. So people say, "Well, do you watch the race from a suite?" And I don't. My job is to help solve problems. My job is to go out and understand what works for the fans, what doesn't work for the fans. I love to sit down with the fan and say, "Hey, what's in your cooler?" And if it's the right brand or it's the right snack, I'm gonna eat something. I give out stickers to thank fans for coming. For me, like I said a minute ago, it doesn't start with the finances. It starts with the fans, and if your fans are happy and the fans have a good time, the finances of the property work.
Last thing here, does Roger Penske get Carb Day? You mentioned he's a cool dude. He's like in his 80s. He's using emojis when he texts and tweets. Does he understand like the debauchery of Carb Day and why people like myself love it?
Wow, that's a tough question for me to answer. No, he doesn't. He doesn't get it. You think about Roger Penske and his racing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is really all about going under the tunnel, garage area, pit area, victory lane.
And that's why I ask, because he's such about the racing,
that's
right?
his experience. So in 2020, we obviously didn't have anything. We had the race without fans. And then in 2021, we didn't have music again because we weren't allowed to. And then in 2022, when we brought it back, we had to convince him that music was an important piece because in his mind, it's about the race.
Right.
But for so many people, and maybe the majority of the people, the race is part of it, but it's all these other things that take place. So we've convinced him on music. We had a joke early on. He's like, who are these bands? And he's like, what about Tina Turner? So the big joke was for Carb Day, because he's a Tina Turner, or was a Tina Turner fan, was who are we going to, who are we going to bring? He has not been out. That's probably not true. He's been out for Carb Day, early in Carb Day. The one place we have not allowed him to go is Snake Pit. Because we firmly believe if he sees the Snake Pit, we may be in trouble with the Snake Pit.
Well, maybe back in the 70s that would have been the case, but now it's like a big thing.
Right.
Now
It's a big thing, but it's
sure, I understand.
So I've only been once. And the one time I went, I posted a selfie with a guy who had one of those helmets on that was I can't remember the name of the video game that kids play, and it was cool. And I took the selfie, and it was early in the morning, and then I realized that his shirt said, I don't even think I can say what his shirt said, and I posted it, and somebody sends me a note says, "Why are you posting that?" I'm like, I didn't even read the guy's shirt. And so no, I haven't. That's because I stay up all night the night before, and I live on coffee to get to the point where I can. To where I can keep going.
Right.
And I just don't pay attention. I was excited. Hey, I went to the Snake Pit once. This guy was excited. He was dressed up, and then I posted it, and it's still there. If somebody were to go back in my Twitter history, it's still there. So we do not allow Roger to go see that.
Give the gift of May. Get your tickets online, IMS.com. Doug Boles is the president of the Motor Speedway. When are we going to get some information on Carb Day and all that stuff?
I heard that might be coming. Hopefully we'll have it shortly after the new year. It's a mixed bag for me. It's funny.
Tina Turner cover band this year.
Tina Turner cover band. It would have to be, unfortunately.
Hey, she would have been great.
She would have.
Trust me, that would have been.
She would have been great. And I still think like a yacht rock review cover band could be fun. But I know. So I get a lot of stuff. In fact, a friend of mine on Facebook sent me a note, said, "Hey, I see AC/DC's touring again. How about AC/DC?" I said, "Well." It's probably $5 million. And I'm trying to make sure that the bands that we have don't force me to increase the ticket price for people to come in and that it's part of the ticket price. So,
AC/DC and Paul McCartney are going to be performing this year.
That would be a tough one. When the Stones played the Speedway in 2015, it was $3.5 million for the Stones, and then $1.5 million in the production requirement that we were a little over $5.5 million in before we even sold a ticket. And the Indy 500 is really about the race. It's not about the talent we get. And so at some level, we try and balance that. Who's some talent that we can have that has music that people understand, but also allows us to do it in a way that I don't have to raise the ticket prices on people.
Right.
Or you don't have to say, hey, it's free, but you're a mile away. And then for those people that want to get up close or be in the normal, it's going to be another $100. So we try and do that. It's a little bit of a balancing act.
Is the genre staying the same? Because it feels like there's a little something for everybody. The Snake Pit on race day, the current Snake Pit, is like the techno young people having a rave party. There's the night before where it's like a country concert. And usually it's like a classic rock kind of 80s hair band type of thing for Carb Day.
Correct. And I'm the old guy here in this room, but you guys are at least in that 80s, 90s rock era.
Yep.
And that's really important, I think, is that it stays there. Now, there's a lot of push from younger folks internally as well as externally. Is you can stay in the rock era, but can you get a little bit younger? So we're trying to figure out how do you have that big hair band and maybe bring some younger mix into it so that it feels a little different, and those folks in their 30s can say, hey, this is a rock and roll concert I like to attend.
When you look at the list of people who are really good at their job, the best in the world, Doug Boles is on that list. You are awesome, my friend.
Thanks, Doug.
If we don't talk to you, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you,
tell
too.
the fam we said hello.
I sure will. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, man, talk about throwing your money away. According to CBS News, the average American loses out on an average of $182,000 in Social Security income because they file for their benefits at the wrong time. You could learn how you could avoid all that with a free analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy.
And again, this is free. This free analysis could help you get the most income from Social Security. We're talking about your spouse benefits, taxes, IRA, 401k withdrawals, Medicare premiums. If you've saved more than $200,000, but you have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now. It's free. Call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. Don't lose $182,000 in Social Security income that's rightfully yours. It's your money. Call Bill Demery today. He'll help you keep it. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
The holidays are a magical time to get engaged. At Shane Company, we're here to help you create your dream engagement ring in just 3 easy steps. Choose a setting that speaks to your style. Compare diamonds and colorful gemstones in all shapes and sizes. Then personalize it with a decorative crown and special engraving. Or choose a perfectly preset ring that's ready to go. At Shane Company, you'll find everyday competitive prices, a no-pressure environment, and an unmatched free lifetime warranty. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, retirement, maybe even kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you really need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We're committed to helping protect your personal interests and the life you've built. Don't let divorce take more than it has to. Talk to us today.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
Matt Bear, what's going on?
Nigel looking at southbound 465 on the southeast side. A semi broken down, blocking 2 right lanes. Again, that's at Arlington. There's a fuel spill. Traffic is stopped all the way back to Washington Street. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Come see Pierce Jewelers' breathtaking selection of sparkling lab-grown diamonds, refined to perfection and value. It's the new choice in diamonds. Remember, shop local, shop smart. Shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
All right, 24 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Went a little long with Doug Boles there, but what an awesome dude, man. One of the good guys right there. All right, gonna take a little break. When we come back, it's a special date on the American calendar. We will talk about that. We've got the Doge team in Washington and Rob Kendall off the rails. It's all coming up.
Temperatures like this, I wouldn't trust anybody except American Standard Heating and Air. American Standard, they are built to a higher standard. As a matter of fact, here is my man Hammer going to tell you about one of those awesome American Standard local independent dealers in Central Indy.
How about Absolute Comfort? Absolute Comfort. Be sure to ask for our friend Chris Wedican. Chris is an expert in saving you money on utilities. Absolute Comfort can help you with your American Standard heat pump options that help you cool in the spring, heat in the winter, and save you money. They save energy, they save you money. Absolute Comfort's experts can also make sure that your home is zoned properly, thus ensuring your comfort, once again, and saving you money. Contact Absolute Comfort right now. AbsoluteComfort.org. That's AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your independent American Standard heating and air dealer. American Standard, built to a higher standard.
Your business needs a network it can count on.
Power's out.
Comcast Business has you covered with Wi-Fi backup to help keep your business up and running, even when your power goes out.
Everybody in the warehouse good? Lights are out, but the Wi-Fi's up. Let's power on.
It's from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Break room, you good? Can't microwave my burrito, but Wi-Fi's fine. Let's power on.
Power on with the leader in connectivity, Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Learn how to get Comcast Business Internet, Security Edge, and Wi-Fi backup for $59 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement when you add Comcast Business Mobile Unlimited. Plus, for a limited time, find out how to get an $800 holiday bonus prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online to ComcastBusiness.com today. Ends 12/15/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 300 megabit per second internet, Security Edge, and Connection Pro. EcoBill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change.
Breathe in the wonder and joy of Christmas, where the extraordinary often shines through the ordinary moments, through kindness, care, and compassion. At Franciscan Health, we provide care rooted in faith, love, and dignity, and believe life is a gift and every moment is extraordinary. So take a breath and give thanks as we celebrate the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas. Franciscan Health. Love your extraordinary life.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant. We've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
My husband, Bob, has Parkinson's, and he needs more help now, and I need more support to help him. Thanks to Indiana Pathways for Aging, we're getting the support we need to help him right here at home, like with meal prep and basic personal care, and even respite support for me.
Pathways provides Hoosier Medicaid members, age 60 and over, support for care their way, so they can live life their way. To learn more, eligible members call 87 Pathway 4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
Your local news coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. Here's Fox News in progress.
Notes to each other, sending emails to each other about what's happening real time at an event like this, and text messaging each other on their personal phones. Unacceptable.
Colorado Congressman Jason Crow, after the final task force hearing, where acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe outlined changes already made and called security before the deadly shooting at a Trump rally in Pennsylvania an abject failure. The president-elect's choice for defense chief, Pete Hegseth, says he's had robust and candid discussions with senators this week.
We're going to earn those votes. We're fighting all the way through the tape. We're grateful to have the president's support.
Hegseth also telling reporters on Capitol Hill he's a different man than years ago, though he has denied misconduct, including a sexual assault allegation from 2017. But one key Republican senator isn't ready to support him.
Iowa Senator Joni Ernst revealing she and a number of senators want to make sure any allegations of misconduct against Pete Hegseth have been cleared before deciding whether to support his nomination to serve as defense secretary. Telling Fox News' America's Newsroom she had a lengthy discussion with the fellow combat veteran and appreciates his service.
So we talked about a number of those issues, and we will continue with the vetting process. I think that is incredibly important.
Ernst is a key GOP member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, which will handle his confirmation, and she is a sexual assault survivor.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. No injuries or major damage reported after a magnitude 7 earthquake and several aftershocks triggered a tsunami warning in Northern California and Southern Oregon. That warning was later lifted. The jury's still out in the New York subway chokehold case, day 3 of deliberations. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's the kind of weather you expect in December. Cloudy with temperatures in the 20s on the circle. Completely clear under radar. 15 is your low tonight with clouds expected to stick around. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. The coldest day of the year is here, and that cold is only going to stick around, says Cody Moore with the National Weather Service.
It's a massive area of low pressure that's in southern Ontario, and you just have this big trough. So you have winds wrapping around the low pressure. We're getting northwest winds here in Buffalo. They're getting southwest winds right off the lake.
Moore says it might get a little bit better this weekend. Temperatures could climb back up into the 40s. An alarm company was notified, or an alarm company is Who notified Wayne Township firefighters about a fire at a home this morning along Mars Hill Street.
So they went immediately inside and found an elderly female on the couch, disoriented.
and unable to take care of herself. So they grabbed her off the couch and pulled her out to safety and put her in an awaiting ambulance to be transported off to an area hospital.
Captain Everett Bannister says the woman was one of several of the people in the home. A couple of pets were also rescued. Investigators are looking into what caused the fire. The media has asked to have cameras in the courtroom when Richard Allen, the man convicted of the Delphi murders, is sentenced. Ryan Hedrick reports that's not going to be the case.
You may not be surprised to learn that the judge in charge of the case, Fran Gull, denied the request to have cameras record Richard Allen's sentence on December 20th. Allen was convicted of killing Abby Williams and Libby German near the Monon High Bridge in 2017. The only time that Gull has allowed cameras in the courtroom was on October 19th, 2023. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The post office in Elwood may soon be renamed after a police officer who died while working.
Officer Shanavas was a dedicated public servant, a courageous protector of his community, and a beloved member of the Elwood Police Department.
Noah Chavez was shot and killed during a traffic stop a couple of years ago. You may remember it. That was Indiana Congresswoman there, Victoria Spartz, talking there about a bill that she introduced to the House that was approved unanimously, which would name the Elwood Post Office after Officer Chavez. That bill now heads to the Senate. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Hey, it's Rob. If you want to grow your hair back, check out the precision and accuracy of the Artist Robotic FUE at We Grow Hair Indie. You'll be amazed at the permanent natural results you can get and get back to work ASAP. Darren Andrews, Clinic Director of We Grow Hair Indie, is here to tell us more.
The Artist Robotic FUE hair transplant at We Grow Hair Indie, one of the most sophisticated hair transplant procedures available. The accuracy and the precision of the Artist Robotic FUE is what clients love the most. Get the results you want with our Artist FUE or multi-unit hair grafting procedure.
Don't wait. Call today and find out more about the Artist Robotic FUE at WeGrowHairIndie.com. Call 317-522-2995 for your hair evaluation. 317-522-2995 or go to WeGrowHairIndie.com. and grow your hair back today.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05. What's going on, Matt Bear?
All right, Harrison, we're still on the southeast side. A broken down semi on southbound 465 at Arlington Avenue. It's been moved to the right shoulder. All lanes have reopened. Stop and go traffic back to 74, then stopped past Washington Street, almost to I-70. Delayed time running under an hour. Hopefully that'll improve with the lanes opening. Eastbound 465, stop and go from 31 over to 65. Still on the south side here. Southbound 465, stop and go from 70 past Kentucky Avenue. Coming into downtown from the west side, eastbound 70 slows after Tibbs into the south split. Inbound 65, stop and go from MLK to Meridian past 9-minute delay. And inbound 70, stop and go traffic from Shadeland Avenue to the north split. Traffic sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Expect another bitterly cold night tonight with lows down in the mid-teens with wind chills in the single digits. Friday, not much warmer and a touch breezy at times with lots of sunshine as highs find their way into the lower 30s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel. Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's...
You see Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy on Capitol Hill today, Hammer, meeting up with a bunch of lawmakers about cutting costs. The Doge team, Department of Government Efficiency. Doge.
Vivek looks comfortable. You know, he's mixed it up and he's talked with a lot of these people before. Elon, again, talked about this earlier, looks like a contest winner. Like he's kind of excited to be there and he's walking around taking pictures and...
Well, and he had his little kid with him, too, walking down the halls of Capitol Hill with his little kid on his shoulders. Oh, so maybe that's a mechanism to deal with the attention, is having, you know, somebody else there with you. Besides Vivek, I'm just saying. Like, you see a lot of these coaches, a lot of these players in the NBA, after, like, a bad performance, will bring their kids up there with them to answer questions of the press. And I'm not saying Elon and Vivek have, like, are doing anything bad. I'm just saying for Elon, that's probably a barrier for him in a way.
Because doesn't he deal with some autism issues?
Something on the Asperger's or something like that.
Yeah. So the Doge team's in Capitol Hill meeting with lawmakers. Iowa Senator Joni Ernst. She's had an interesting 24 hours in the news cycle, and we'll get to that. But she's also the Senate caucus chair of the Doge team. She talked a little bit about the meeting she had with Vivek and Elon and what they're hoping to accomplish.
I have been studying government waste for a decade now and proposing legislative solutions. And this is why I'm so excited about Vivek and Elon grabbing a hold of this, because even in President Trump's first administration, we couldn't find the people that were willing to help us move on this legislation and actually enact it. This time we have got Vivek and Elon at the helm, and we are going to push through to save our American taxpayers from all of this government waste, fraud, and abuse.
She goes on to say, right now, she already knows ways to get $2 trillion freed up from a lot of this waste. And then you had Vivek and Elon speak to other reporters today. And the thing they want to focus on is getting government workers back into the office. No more of this working from home crap, because it ends up hurting the office. It ends up hurting the production of the business. So they're trying to get everybody back to work.
Yeah, here's the other part of that, too. There's going to be a high percentage, and Elon was talking about this. There's a high percentage of people that aren't going to want to come back physically to work in the federal government. So what happens? They resign. And Elon said, yeah, that's maybe kind of the point of this. That's half the point here. People come back to work 5 days a week, and the good news is a lot of people aren't going to want to do that, and they'll resign, and that's the whole point.
Right.
Cleaning house.
You trim a little fat. That's the whole point of this. Now, Joni Ernst, yesterday, she made some headlines because she put out this statement on Twitter about Pete Hegseth, the Trump nominee to be the head of the Department of Defense. It wasn't a real ringing endorsement. She kept it very vague, but it certainly didn't sound like she was a big fan. And listen, to her credit, she went on Fox News today, and Bill Hemmer, it was during his program with Dana Perino, he asked her about that kind of cryptic tweet about Pete Hegseth.
Yesterday, you had a significant meeting with Pete Hegseth, our former colleague and right now the nominee on behalf of the president-elect to be the next Secretary of Defense. Here's the X message that you shot out yesterday. I appreciate Pete Hegseth's service to our country, something we both share. Today, as part of the confirmation process, we had a frank and thorough conversation. Will you support his nomination?
Well, I did have a very long, lengthy discussion with Pete yesterday, and I do appreciate his service to the nation. I also am a combat veteran. So we talked about a number of those issues, and we will continue with the vetting process. I think that that is incredibly important. So again, all I'm saying is we had a very frank and productive discussion, and I know that we will continue to have conversation in the upcoming months.
Certainly wasn't, I've done a 180, I spoke with him, he's a delight, he's got my vote. I didn't hear that, Nige.
Well, you better get on board, sister. It sounds like, from the reports that we're hearing, that even some of the guys, even some of the senators that are the establishment, the swamp creatures, are on board. And before that, Murkowski, Collins, some of these, whoever Mitt Romney's doofus replacement is, Thune. We're hearing drips and drabs. It was out of Politico, I think, yesterday, that some of those, McConnell, the turtle.
Thune is in now. Thune's done a 180.
Yeah, I saw Tillis out of North Carolina is in. And a bunch of these guys that we thought maybe were on the fence, hearing reports now that possibly we're looking, give them the Trump's nod for the Secretary of Defense a second look.
So we will see how this plays out. Pete Hegseth is in D.C. He's still meeting with all the lawmakers and has been speaking to the press a little bit today. And basically the takeaway we've learned is he's not dropping out. He's not backing down. And he said earlier today, the only people he answers to are Jesus, his wife, and the Senate.
Okay, in that order.
Right. So, yeah, it seems like he's making some ground. And again, we have no idea when these confirmation votes would be yet, but it seems like things are going in the positive direction. Also in Washington today, the transgender activists, including the artist formerly known as Bradley Manning, now Chelsea Manning, they occupied like the Capitol Hill bathrooms. This is trying to troll Nancy Mace, the representative from South Carolina, who's passing legislation that says you have to go to the restroom of your born sex. You know, if you're born a man, you're going to the dude's room. If you're born a woman, you're going to the ladies' room. But somehow, some way, all of these lunatics got inside the Capitol, occupied the bathrooms. Here's a little bit of some of the live video they were streaming.
Speaker Johnson, Nancy Mace. Our agendas are no debate. Our agendas are no debate. Speaker Johnson, Nancy Mace.
Speaker Johnson, Nancy Mace.
Our bodies are no debate.
I love how deep their voices were. Speaker Johnson, Nancy Mace.
Pass the tampons?
Here.
How many do you need?
Could you imagine being a woman sitting in the bathroom and somebody sits down next to you? Can you spare a square? Excuse me?
In response to that little protest, Nancy Mace puts this out on Twitter. Quote, how many of them do you think can actually define a woman? Well played by Nancy Mace. Allison, it's a special date on the calendar. Let's do some booze news.
You set him up and I'll knock him back, Lloyd. 1-1.
We are gonna read booze news, cause it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Hammer and Nigel presents
Booze news, booze news. Yeah. Time for booze news.
On this date, back in 1933, the 21st Amendment to the United States Constitution was ratified, repealing that awful, no good, rotten 18th Amendment and ending prohibition in the United States of America.
There it is.
This amendment allowed for illegal manufacture, sale, and transportation of alcohol. And here to pay tribute to the day that we got rid of prohibition, here is 30 seconds of Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh talking about beer.
Did you consume alcohol during your high school years?
Yes, we drank beer. I liked beer. Still like beer. Sometimes probably had too many beers, and sometimes other people had too many beers. We drank beer. We liked beer. Beers, some beers. Beers with friends. I liked beer. I still like beer. Beer in high school. Drinking beer, which I gladly do, and which I fully embrace. I drank beer with my friends. I like beer. I still like beer.
Preach, brother, preach. All right, I've got information on how you can win some Jeff Foxworthy tickets. He's coming to the new Fishers Event Center. I'll tell you about that right after the traffic with Matt Baer.
All right, fellas, south side, a broken down semi westbound 465 at Arlington Avenue. Both right lanes have reopened. The right shoulder block traffic is stop and go 274, and then stopped on southbound 465 past Washington Street, almost to I-70. That's southbound delay running 34 minutes right now. Inbound 65 stop and go from MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 grinding into the south split from Belmont. South side, eastbound 465 stop and go traffic before 31 over 265, and slow from 70 to Man Road. On the northeast side, that is a breakdown on the ramp from northbound 465 to I-69 going north, and the ramp is open. It is partially blocked. Traffic is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. And they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone, AutoZone. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up here in about 15 minutes, Rob Kendall is going to flip out and go off the rails. It's 25 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, and we got some tickets here, Nige. Jeff Foxworthy. He is coming to the new Fishers Event Center Friday, February 21st, an 8 o'clock show.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. He's been on with us multiple times. Been hilarious every single time. So 2 pairs of tickets. This is how we're going to do it. Since our phone lines are broke, we can't do a contest really on the phone. So we're going to do it on our Facebook page. And yes, I know our Facebook page has got some restrictions. So you physically have to go out of your way to find Hammer and Nigel on Facebook. I just posted a photo of Nigel and I sitting at a bar. We're sitting at Coach's Tavern, the bar, and it's got the caption, if you have to ask if it's too early to drink beer, you're an amateur and we can't be friends. Then it talks about how we're number 1 in afternoons. Find that on our Facebook page. We will randomly give somebody some Jeff Foxworthy tickets if you share that post, and then we will randomly give another person tickets if you leave a comment, Zuck sucks, under that post. So we got 2 pairs of tickets to give away. Share that picture and leave a comment, Zuck sucks. We will accept Zuckerberg sucks. If you want to get creative, that's fine too. But we'll just do it randomly, okay? And that's how we're going to do it. Since our phone lines are screwed up, we're going to do it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Hammer and Nigel. Share the picture of us at the bar, leave a comment, and we'll randomly pick winners for the Jeff Foxworthy tickets.
$182,000. That's right. According to CBS News, the average American loses out on around $182,000 in Social Security income because they filed for their benefits at the wrong time. You need to learn how you could avoid all of that with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery. He's your retirement guy in Indy.
Bill Demery, he's my retirement guy. He should be your retirement guy. And if you've saved more than $200,000, you absolutely need to do this free analysis with Bill Demery. He's going to help you keep your money. It's your money. Get the most from your Social Security. We're talking spouse benefits, taxes, IRAs. If you've not yet filed for Social Security and you've saved more than $200,000, call Bill Demery today. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Business and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
Hey, this is Nigel. Galaxy Concrete Coatings did a wonderful job on my garage floor. My new Galaxy Concrete garage floor coating is out of this world. Hey, by the way, Galaxy Concrete Coatings is supporting the Salvation Army Radiothon through my virtual red kettle. Now through December 14th. They're matching donations up to $1,000. So help make someone's life a little better. Go to WIBC.com and look for my virtual red kettle with Galaxy Concrete Coatings matching up to $1,000.
Hi, this is Denny Smith, and this holiday season, you gotta visit Miss Mary's gift shop at Sundown Gardens for great holiday gifts and decor. Now's a great time to stock up on all things holiday, and the greenhouse still has all your live greenery needs. Come shop for fresh-cut trees, wreaths, garland, and porch pots. Sundown Gardens wants to wish everyone a happy holiday season. Sundown Gardens, located at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, sundown.gardens.com. That's sundown.gardens.com.
Planning to propose this holiday? Shane Company is ready to help you find your dream engagement ring. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds and colorful gemstones in all shapes and sizes. So when you walk in the door, you can trust your rock is in stock. At Shane Company, we've always sourced directly, cut out the middleman, and pass the savings on to you. We work with your budget, not against it. We'll also protect your ring for life with our free unmatched lifetime warranty. Come see us at shaneco.com and in-store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx, save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
You might not consider yourself a tech expert, but that doesn't mean you can't protect yourself from online scammers with a little help from McAfee Total Protection. Whether it's a fake missed delivery text or an urgent bank alert, these scams can look incredibly convincing. That's where McAfee Total Protection steps in. So go ahead, manage your finances and shop online. McAfee will help keep your device's privacy and identity safer. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
This hour powered by bwindow.com, where their annual 52% off Black Friday has been extended.
Are you really okay with this? Are you okay?
Everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty. You know what? Turn this off. Just turn it off right now. I know we're going to play Are You Okay With This, but I've had this awesome cookie in front of me the whole show.
Okay.
And we haven't got to it yet. I know we're supposed to be doing my segment here, but yesterday it was, National Cookie Day or something.
Every day.
You were talking about this place in Zionsville that has cookies so good, you take one bite, you get pregnant, and you brought one in.
I brought one for you and Alice. Yeah, it's from Rosie's.
Rosie's, okay.
Rosie's.
It looks like a biscuit. It's huge.
There's one in Zionsville. I think there's another one in Carmel, maybe one in Noblesville, but the cookies are amazing. Yeah, it's like a breakfast lunch place, but they have these fresh baked cookies, and they're the best. I already.
It's got like powdered sugar sprinkled on the top.
This is like a butter cookie or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know
oh
what
my
it's called.
gosh.
Pregnant. Did you hear that? Pregnant.
I think it's twins.
What do you think, buddy? Was I right about the cookie?
It's so soft, it like just melts in your mouth.
Melts in your mouth.
Yes.
That's the idea.
So good. You're right. This is very, very good. All right. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt the flow of the show here, but this cookie was staring at me. It was judging me, and I had to eat it.
Okay. With the fallout of the Hunter Biden pardon, News Nation's Chris Cuomo,
Fredo,
also known as Fredo, and ESPN's Stephen A. Smith urging Biden to pardon another person. That would be one Donald Trump.
You know what else Biden should do? And I know people are going to get upset about this. If I were he, I would pardon Trump.
You know something? Honestly,
I would say,
as crazy as this sounds, Chris, that's exactly what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. Enough's enough. You know what? You're the Democrats. You lost the election. You got your butt whipped. You couldn't prevent him from going back to the White House. More than a dozen cases have been dropped against him. The cases that have been ruled against him, he's going to appeal, and he'll probably get off from having to deal with all of that. It's time to move forward.
Are you okay with this?
Yes. I think a lot of people, especially those who don't identify as a Republican or a Democrat, are probably on board with this. Let's stop trying to imprison political rivals. Now, in this case, Hunter actually did a number of crimes. I get that. But if your goal is to bring harmony into this country, trying to get past all the nonsense that Biden and Harris have brought forth, and let's be honest, Donald Trump brought a little nonsense himself, pardon everybody and let's move on. How about we only pardon people who are innocent and they were guilty? No political rivals, none of this bull crap. Stop trying to prosecute your political rivals. This is why I'm excited for Pam Bondi. This is why I'm excited for Kash Patel. I want them to burn this justice system to the ground and start it from scratch the right way. And I'm good with that, 100%.
Yeah, Donald Trump tried to play nice when he was first elected president with Hillary Clinton. You know, lock her up was the mantra, and then he got in office, the country needs to move along. And how did the Democrats thank him? Few impeachments, couple baseless felony convictions, raiding his house, blah, blah. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Prosecutors ran elections based off going after him. Real quick, going back to the cookie that you brought in.
Right.
Joseph sends us a message on Facebook. Can I get an audio clip of Allison saying, quote, "It looks like a biscuit. It's huge."
I don't understand.
No, you cannot get a clip of that.
No, but thank you, Joseph.
You want to do the baseball one here real quick?
Let's do it.
Major League Baseball toying with the idea of a golden at-bat concept. They're saying there's some sort of buzz around a new rule where a team could choose one at-bat in every game to use its best hitter, regardless of where they're at in the lineup. Are you okay with that?
So,
I mean, you seem to be like a baseball purist. Is this something that's happened before? Or is this
no, this sounds like something you would do in a MTV rocker jock softball game.
Thank you.
Where the concept is, if you're a baseball team, at any point in the game, you can bring your best hitter up, no matter where you're at in the batting lineup, and he can hit. So let's say the bases are loaded, it's the 9th inning, you're the Yankees, but your number 9 hitter is scheduled to hit. You could use your, what is it called, golden at bat, and bring up Aaron Judge.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Now, I will say this. If I know that's happening in the game that I'm watching, will I be more interested? Maybe. I'm a baseball guy. You know this. I am Mr. Baseball.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to hate this with a passion of a million fires. I don't like the pitch clock. I don't like some of this crap. And if it were up to me, it probably wouldn't be a rule. But if they pass it, I don't think I'd complain about it. Like, I think making the bases bigger and the stupid pitch clock, that's way more egregious than this. But I will say this commissioner needs to stop trying to placate to people who don't watch the sport anyway.
Sure.
You're trying to make people happy who are not going to watch this no matter what you do. Take care of your core base before you try to get cute. All right, somebody that's never cute is Rob Kendall. He is ready to flip out, rip his shirt off, rub his chest down, and go off the rails.
Please don't.
He's going to do that right after Harrison Silcox does the same thing in the news studio. He's got the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
I can promise my shirt's on. It's cold outside, Hammer. Mostly cloudy skies, 22 degrees in the heart of downtown. Your radar is clear, low with 16 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 529. It was supposed to be this cold.
Highs are only going to be in the low to mid-20s. Probably one of the coldest days of the season so far across central Indiana. And with it being a bit windy, too, throughout the day, wind chills will probably make it only feel like it's in the teens.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. Temperatures could be back in the 40s by the weekend. Supposed to be cold again tomorrow, though. A committee in southern Indiana is looking into a plan to make its city council the highest paid in the state. Ryan Hedrick reports.
Under this plan, Bloomington City Council members would make a little more than $45,000, a modest increase of 115% of what they're making now. That's not all. The mayor and the clerk would see pay bumps as well. The mayor's salary would jump to $151,000. The proposal is called Ordinance 2026, and Mayor Carrie Thompson says she feels uneasy about the proposal, but the talks continue. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
An earthquake impacted much of Northern California today, even parts of Oregon along the state line up there. There was even concern for a tsunami at one point.
We've referred all our efforts to focus now on a 7.0 earthquake in Northern California. There was a tsunami warning that came out. That tsunami warning was lifted.
California Governor Gavin Newsom says the damage assessments are currently going on now after he signed an emergency declaration. The heads of the departments of the new government of efficiency are on their way to Capitol Hill. Fox's Ryan Schmelz reports.
Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy meeting with top Republicans. Ramaswamy attended the first-ever Senate Doge caucus meeting, where Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt is hoping to make progress on cutting government waste and making government more efficient.
This isn't going to happen overnight, but I do think there's some things that can happen right away.
A report from Doge caucus chair Joni Ernst claims 90% of federal employees telework compared to 3% pre-COVID, with only 6% working in person full-time. Ernst is proposing tracking employee productivity and, quote, tying it to their privilege to telework. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
There are not going to be cameras in the courtroom when Richard Allen is sentenced for the Delphi murders from 2017. The media had requested the cameras be present, but Special Judge Fran Gold has said no. She did not allow cameras during the trial either, so she's been consistent in that Department of decision-making. And with a look at the roads at 5:32, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, southeast side on southbound 465 at Arlington Avenue. A broken down semi on the right shoulder, cleaning up a fuel spill as well. Traffic is stop and go past Brookville Road. And inbound 70 stop and go before Emerson Avenue to the north split. Southbound 65 grinding from MLK to Meridian Penn, 9-minute delay. Eastbound 70 stop and go traffic from Tibbs Avenue into the south split. That's an 8-minute delay. South side eastbound 465 slow, 70 past Man Road, and again from 31 past I-65. There's a stall on the northeast side. It's on the exit ramp from northbound 465 to northbound 69. The ramp is open. It is partially blocked. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Come see Pierce Jewelers' breathtaking selection of sparkling lab-grown diamonds. Refined to perfection and value. It's the new choice in diamonds. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Expect another bitterly cold night tonight with lows down in the mid-teens with wind chills in the single digits. Friday, not much warmer and a touch breezy at times with lots of sunshine as highs find their way into the lower 30s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
And now, Hammer and Nigel go off the rails with Rob Kendall.
Noise pollution.
I'm Nigel. Hammer's here. Rob Kendall from the Kendall and Casey Show in studio to go off the rails. Rob, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks, as always, to our segment sponsor, Garage Doors of Indianapolis.
What was the thing earlier today? I heard that somebody wants you to run to lead the Republicans here in Indiana.
Oh, yeah. People are clamoring for me to be the new head of the Indiana Republican Party. Can you blame them?
Well, the other guy stepped down earlier this week, right?
Well, this is the thing, right? So one of the things our show's really good at is we're good at shining the light on things. Things happen, and then we tell you, no. You don't need to be looking at this. Look at the other thing that is happening is related to this. So Randy Head steps down as the Indiana Republican Party chairman. So he's one of the most powerful people in the entire state. He runs,
after 5 months.
Right. And then it comes, he doesn't give 2 weeks notice, and everybody's like, what is going on here?
And he was even working with the, transition team of Braun.
Right. And so then it gets forced out of him. Yeah, I'm a lobbyist, and you can't lobby and be the state party chair, and legislative session is getting ready to start, so I'm out of here. And that tells you the power that these donors and lobbyists, the stranglehold that they have over these politicians, that to this guy, who, by the way, was a state senator before he became a lobbyist, the power of lobbying the General Assembly was a greater lure than being the head of the Indiana Republican Party.
Probably paid him a hell of a lot more.
You think you have any chance as a regular person to get stuff, or these politicians are going to do anything that benefits you? This guy said being the head of the party was less advantageous than being a rank-and-file lobbyist. That tells you how powerful the lobby is and how you have no shot.
It's funny because we were talking about it earlier this week, and we were kind of speculating, like, maybe the guy just wanted to go back to his old job. But now you're saying that the lobbying angle is there.
Want to make money? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a lobbyist. So point of all this is I said, okay, first of all, I'm sick of the lack of transparency, which is every time there's an opening, it's like some Pope-esque thing where magically smoke just comes out of the top of the Republican Party headquarters and, oh, here's the new party boss. Why did that person get elected? When was the election? Was this posted somewhere? If you look online, you can't find any of it. And so what
all the things we ripped on Kamala Harris for.
Sure, absolutely. It's a totally closed-door society. Republicans can't run their own elections without millions of dollars from you. They can't they couldn't run a lemonade stand if their life depended on it without you. And yet they keep throwing people off the ballot who want to run for public office, so the elections are forced to fund. And now when it comes to picking their party chair, you can't find anything. And so I said, well, maybe the best way to just bring some transparency to the whole process is if I just throw my name in the ring, and I just run for state party chair. At least we'll know how the whole thing works.
Now, could you be a radio host and lead the party at the same time?
Can't be a lobbyist, but you can't be a radio host.
Can't be a lobbyist.
Dude, you would be the Cash Patel of the Indiana Republican Party. Just burn that thing to the ground.
Well, look, I saw the list of people who would vote on the Central Committee, and if I ever end up floating face down in the Monon, the prime suspect list, some of them may be found on that voter roll. But look, I would not win. But my point would be, if I did it, it would be to bring transparency to the people on how this works, because they couldn't pull bull crap because I tell everybody about it. At least we'd finally have a fair and upstanding election.
All right, for argument's sake here, just humor me for just a second. Let's say you do become the head of the Indiana Republicans. What would you do? How would you fix this? What would you change?
Well, it's going to be a temporary pick, whoever it is. I talked to someone involved in the process yesterday. They reorganize in March, and they're having a hard time finding somebody that they want because nobody wants to take the job because they're reorganized in March, which means somebody new could come back in if they don't like the person because they'll have new people. There's no fundraising to do because lawmakers can't raise money during the legislative budget session, and there's no elections. The primary job of the Republican Party chairman for the next 3 months should be to drive Mike Braun's agenda through the General Assembly, which starts and ends with Mike Braun's property tax plan. Whoever the next party chairman is, and look, if somebody runs, and I said this today on air on my list of demands that I gave, if whoever they pick, whatever hand-picked stooge they want, comes out and says, I pledge as Republican Party chairman that I will drive the General Assembly to deliver Mike Braun's property tax reform plan, I think I'm okay with all of this, right? Because this is the issue in front of us.
So pushing Braun stuff through would be the only thing that you would do in those 3 months. There wouldn't be anything else where you would say, I'm going to expose this. I'm going to let everybody know what's going on here.
No, well, the other thing would be I would open it up to how the whole thing works and how we elect people and things of that nature. But no, the job in front of you, because it is a 3-month job right now, would be to get Mike Braun's signature stuff, universal school choice, the controversial things, the things he's going to need help from our audience on, the universal school choice, the property tax reform plan. We need a state party chairman who will lean on these lawmakers and bring the power and force of the Indiana Republican Party to these lawmakers when the angry red-shirted teachers show up and start screaming when they try to help people afford to stay in their homes.
So, okay, the Republican leadership is up in the air, but the Democrats, they got their leader. Harassment allegations be damned. Greg Taylor. No fuss, no muss. He is in there. Meanwhile, the former Attorney General, Curtis Hill, on trial for the same allegations that have been, they were done. Different committees, judges, the legal system said, all right, he's clear, but now he's on trial again.
Well, it's a civil trial, so let's not point out.
Civil trial. So it's about money.
Let's point out the Curtis Hill saga here, right? So he's in a bar, which, look, let's be honest, this was stupid of Curtis Hill as the Attorney General, where everybody has a target on your back.
He put himself in a bad situation.
He did, right? He put himself in a position where information could be disseminated or perceived, actions could be perceived as that he did something that could get himself in trouble. Now, the criminal system looked at this and found no criminal wrongdoing. The chief ethics officer for the state of Indiana looked at it and found no ethics violations. The federal civil suit against him was thrown out. The only thing that's happened to him thus far is he was given a slap on the wrist by the disciplinary commission because did you guys know that attorneys are supposed to behave better than regular people?
What?
Did you know?
Come on.
You're lying.
You're supposed to be held to a higher standard. Yeah. Thank you. I'll be here all week. So he had his law license suspended for not behaving to the level that attorneys are supposed to behave to or whatever. And that's it. And so now, all these years later, he's still dealing with this, and he's going to have a civil case, I guess, where he's going to have to prove that he didn't do the things that these women have accused him of doing.
So hold on. If somebody is listening to this conversation for the first time, and maybe they don't follow the news cycle as closely as we do, tell me if I have this correct. The Indiana Democrats are angry at Curtis Hill. They have been for years. They think he's done some sexual shenanigans, as I would call it, and now there's a civil trial for him. And they're finger-wagging, and they're mad, and the guy they just elected to lead them has been accused of doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here.
That's correct.
And
But
then
at
the
least-
Hogsett office as well.
Right,
Yeah.
at least tell me that they're looking into Joe Hogsett's office.
No.
Thomas Carl Cook and his team of minions.
No, isn't that amazing? Remember when when they announced that Hogsett investigation or whatever, that committee? Remember, it's my least favorite part of every show.
Oh, here we go.
I got to do it.
Yeah.
I hate to have to do it on your number one afternoon show. I hate to do this, but my least favorite part is when I got to tell people how right I was. Months ago, this was going on at the state fair. I remember this. We were at the state fair. That's how long ago this has been now. I told you, I said their goal in creating that committee is not to find the truth. These city county councilors could find the truth on Hogsett and Thomas Carl Cook tomorrow. They have every right to get all the emails and phone records, and they don't have to go through the normal procedures that we do through Freedom of Information. They could have all the information tomorrow. Their goal was to drag this out so that next spring, which is when they've announced it's going to be done, everybody will have forgotten about it. Everybody will be old hat. And everybody will hopefully just go on their merry way. And look, they're succeeding, because other than us, who talks about this anymore?
Like, this is a big deal. There's a major sexual harassment scandal that took place in the mayor's office. And Hogsett's not clear of this. There were questions about whether or not he knew what was going on. And if he did know, why did you bring the guy back to your campaign? But correct me if I'm wrong. You've seen Revenge of the Nerds, right?
Oh,
The
yeah.
movie. It's one of Nigel and I's favorite films. At one point, they put together a special fact-finding commission led by Betty Childs and Stan Gable to look into the allegations against the Tri-Lambs. That was a more fair group put together than the people trying to look into what happened to the mayor's office. Because of the two groups, and again, there are multiple groups here, the city county councilor group, half of those dudes got money from Cook and Hogsett. That's right. And then the independent law group, they were big-time Hogsett donors. And years ago, Hogsett put one of those heads of the law firm in some cush job in the city.
Yeah, I blame the Republicans, though, because you've had the Republicans on your show. I've heard them on your show. And, this process, this, and screw the process. You guys don't need a firm or a committee. Now, the Republicans can't stop or pass anything on their own, but it seems like they just go along with all this crap. Where's the opposition? Where's the resistance? These guys should be having a press conference once a week. But you know why they're doing this? Because Cook has all the dirt on Hogsett. They're trying to make this go away because they know Thomas Carl Cook has enough to bury Joe Hogsett, including where he was during the riots.
But where's the media? Because there was a beautiful 48-hour window where you had, like, local TV reporters, Russ McQuaid, all these guys doing the reporting on the story, and then crickets.
It's the same thing they have with Greg Taylor. They want you to think they're outraged, and part of them may be pissed off, but they're going to protect these guys above all else. The media is a cheerleader for the Democrat Party, whether it's the mainstream national media or the mainstream media here in the city. They're cheerleaders for the Democrat Party. They write an editorial, it seems like, on Micah Beckwith, like 2 or 3 times a week.
At least.
But you can't get them to do anything on where was Joe Hogsett during the riots?
Can you come back for one more break?
Just because you're so darn charismatic.
We're going off the rails with Rob Kendall. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
This winter, cozy up with a match made in cocoa heaven. Introducing Swiss Miss Schmallow, the perfect pairing of Schmallow, the original toasted marshmallow whiskey from Hotel Tango Distillery, and Swiss Miss Hot Cocoa. You've tried Schmallow before. Now Hotel Tango Distillery is taking it up a notch with this fantastic collaboration with Swiss Miss. Imagine rich, creamy cocoa swirling with a hint of toasted marshmallow warmth. It's a sip of comfort like no other. From cold weather gatherings to quiet nights in, Swiss Miss Schmallow is here to add a touch of sweet nostalgia with an adult twist. Warm up your season. Grab Swiss Miss Schmallow before it's gone. Find it at your local store and toast to the taste of winter. Swiss Miss Schmallow, where cozy meets a little bit of kick. Sip responsibly. Must be 21 or older to purchase alcohol. Available where fine spirits are sold. HotelTangoDistillery.com.
Mark Dietel is not just a real estate agent. He's a real estate expert. He knows what needs to happen to get your home sold, and he knows what needs to happen to get you into a new house. Like Ray in Indianapolis needed to move in a hurry. He was out the door in a new house, but, he got the old house, the 2 mortgage payments, and he heard Mark Dietel on our show and was ecstatic when Mark sold his home for the price he needed in 2 days on the market.
Here's what separates Mark Dietel from the competition: the guarantee. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline or he will buy it. That's right. That is the Mark Dietel guarantee. He will buy it if your home isn't sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Mark Dietel makes it easy. Give him a call today, 317-755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
What does the joy of Christmas mean to you? A gift? Time with family? Decorations and traditions? At Shepherd Community, the joy of Christmas is learning to read, feeling safe and loved, finding a stable job, and having a community that cares. Shepherd gives its neighbors gifts of joy and hope for a brighter future. You can give the joy of Christmas to neighbors living in poverty, not just at the holidays, but all year long. Visit caringatchristmas.org/give. That's caringatchristmas.org/give.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
B's offering our Black Friday extended sale. 52% off, 10% manufacturer rebates, and 18 months, no interest, no payments.
Addiction. It's hard on those who struggle with it, but those who love the addict need support too. Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick provide help and hope with Supporting Sobriety. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on WIBC.com.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, I'm on the southeast side looking at southbound 465 near Arlington Avenue. A broken down semi is on the right shoulder. They're cleaning up a fuel spill. In the meantime, traffic is stop and go past the 74 interchange to Washington Street. Also on the south side, eastbound 465 at I-65. That's a stall in the center lane causing stop and go traffic past 31 to South Meridian. Inbound 65, stop and go from MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slow to the south split from Tibbs. That's a 5-minute delay. Looking at northbound 465 on the east side, slow after 70 up to 75th, and we have a stall on the exit from northbound 465 to northbound 69. That ramp is open. It is partially blocked. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. If you're looking for the hottest new trends in jewelry this year, come to Pierce Jewelers and see their Love to Love collection in lab-grown diamond jewelry. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
23 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC. Back with Rob Kendall from the #1 rated Kendall and Casey show, 9 to noon. #1 in their time spot. Rob, Pete Hegseth, he's kind of getting the Kavanaugh treatment right now. And yesterday it seemed kind of odd because in the morning yesterday, there was a report that 6 Senate Republicans were kind of on the fence. They didn't really feel like they were going to vote for the confirmation of Pete Hegseth. And, of course, it was the usual suspects. It was Collins. It was Markowski. It was the Turtle, the new Mitt Romney from Utah, all your favorite TV pals. But then after a day of outrage, the New York Post reports that, well, they may all be back in now. So what happened between the morning and the afternoon and evening yesterday? Was it just public backlash? Is this because the election showed that people are tired of establishment crap?
Well, isn't it interesting that you have a guy in Lloyd Austin who disappeared? He literally disappeared. Nobody had no idea.
We call that pulling a hog set around here.
Nobody had any idea where he was, and it turned out he was having a very serious medical procedure, and nobody knew. And look at the job Mayorkas has done, like with the border, et cetera. But to the Murkowski Collins people, that's okay. You can be crappy at your job, you can lie, you can deceive. That's fine. To those people, that's okay. The one thing you can't do is be an outsider. The one thing you can't do is be somebody that they can't believe, that isn't one of them. It's like Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack, right? Hexeth is Rodney Dangerfield. The Murkowski, Collins, McConnell people are Judge Smales. They don't really care if you suck at your job. They don't really care if you're incompetent. They don't care if you're a liar. They care if you're one of them.
But I think it's Collins is up for election next year. She had to have seen the election results where even swing states were won by the Rodney Dangerfield character, Donald Trump, right? Like, she has to see that the country is saying, hey, what we were doing years ago is not working anymore. So does that change maybe the way she does things?
Well, here's my question to these senators is, what are you upset about? So this guy went to Princeton. He went to Harvard. He played college basketball, in fact.
He played in March Madness.
Hexeth did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Great college basketball player. Decorated member of the military, served with distinction and with honor.
Multiple Bronze Stars, yeah.
Has had a decorated, a celebrated career in television. All the people who work with him in TV have said, I've never seen this guy drunk. He's always been professional.
Who were not interviewed by any of the media outlets, by the way, his immediate colleagues.
The mother now has come out and refuted the stuff in the email that they were going by. And basically, she's just like, I had a bad day, sorry. So what do you have here? What are you upset about? What are you hanging your hat on that this guy is unqualified? Because if we're going to talk about people who might have had too much to drink and people who might have womanized, I'm going to line a lot of those senators up, and I'm going to look at you and go guilty as charged. What are we even upset about here? I don't even understand what the issue is.
What's coming up on the big show tomorrow?
Oh, man. What are we doing? McCarthy. McCarthy said Matt Gaetz quit so that he wouldn't have to basically face justice. And so we're going to delve into that and why anybody's actually still listening to Kevin McCarthy.
15 seconds left here. We got a new podcast out.
We do. That's right. The Degenerates Next Door, brought to you by StatFactory.io.
New sponsor of the Degenerates Next Door. Check out that site, StatFactory.io. Rob, you're the best.
Thank you.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, in just a second, I'm going to tell you how you can get a brand new, free, large, big green egg at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. It's their year-end clearance event now through Monday. 50% off all in stock, special order Lazy Boys, Smith Brothers, extra discounts for cash. We're talking 12 months interest-free financing. I mean, recliner sofas, sectionals, and you can get a free, large, big green egg with select Tempur-Pedic and Stearns Foster mattresses. Only Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Oh, by the way, did I mention free delivery?
If you need a new Tempur-Pedic mattress, if you need a new couch, new love seat, new Lazy Boy recliner, Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. They still have free delivery and setup if you live within 75 miles of their store. Take care of these guys. Awesome Hoosier business. ThompsonFurniture.net. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
According to CBS News, the average American loses out on an average of $182,000 in Social Security income, and it's because they file for their benefits at the wrong time. Learn how you can avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. We trust Bill to help us with planning for our retirement, and you can too.
This free analysis could help you get the most income from Social Security while considering the impacts on your spousal benefits, taxes, IRA and 401k withdrawals, and Medicare premiums. If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery. 317-648-5120. Don't lose $182,000 in Social Security income. That money's rightfully yours. Call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I got a line.
He got a line.
She got a line.
We got 4 lines. Cricket Nation. Q finger guns. Really easy. Super stress-free. 5G so fast, like blazing fast. Games and memes. You'll have a blast. You can get fast 5G across 4 lines. You can get fast 5G across 4 lines. As we discuss, take it from us. We 4 are one. Cricket Nation.
And only $25 a line. Welcome to more lines. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile. You're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Discount varies by line. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hi, this is Malia with Family Heating and Air, and as a mom myself, I know it's really important to keep the kiddos healthy. Air quality, humidity, those are super big issues on my concern list. If you share any of these concerns, give family a call, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Marek Mazurek. When parents are worried about their child's development, they may have to wait months or even years for their child to be evaluated for autism. The answer, according to a team of Huse researchers, is arming primary care doctors with a simple but scientific method to diagnose autism as accurately as a specialist. That research team has created a tool that uses the eyes as a window to the brain.
We have a team that has trained primary care clinicians to evaluate young children for autism in their local primary care practice.
That's Rebecca Keene, a professor of pediatrics at the Indiana University School of Medicine. She said the eye tracking tool analyzes pupil diameter and where the child looks to determine if there are developmental abnormalities. The next challenge for Keene and her team is turning that technology into a tool that's simple and reliable to use and also affordable enough to be in every doctor's office. Federal administrators have approved an Indianapolis Airport Authority plan to permanently close the Indianapolis downtown heliport. The heliport is currently home to IU Health's Lifeline operation. The Federal Aviation Administration, in a letter dated November 25th, informed the airport authority it can move ahead with decommissioning the heliport property to make way for the site's eventual redevelopment. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
The Talent Resource Navigator is a free online tool that offers the convenience of one-stop shopping for education and job training opportunities. It's supported by on-demand customer service and technical assistance. The Navigator intentionally guides and connects individuals and employers with a tailored set of talent development resources based on each user's identified needs. Get started today at talentresourcenavigator.com.
President-elect Donald Trump is underscoring his intention to block the purchase of U.S. steel by Japanese steelmaker Nippon Steel Corp. Trump had vowed early in his presidential campaign that he would instantaneously block the deal, and he reiterated that sentiment in a post on his Truth Social platform on Monday night. Trump wrote, quote, "I am totally against the once great and powerful U.S. steel being bought by a foreign company," end quote. I'm Marek Mazurek for 93 WIBC.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, your local news right after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis.
Dismissed as well. To make it clear, the charges have been dropped, although the indictments have been dismissed without prejudice, meaning they could be revived at a later date. Police say they are closer to an arrest in yesterday's murder of healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on a New York City street after the discovery of new surveillance images of the suspect.
He's wearing a green hoodie. He's got his mask pulled down, and this was taken, according to sources, not too far from where the shooting happened, over in the Upper West Side at a hostel where sources are telling the New York Post he might have been staying before the shooting.
It's Fox's Alexis McAdams who reports police also recovered a water bottle he may have used. It could yield DNA evidence. Anxious moments in Northern California today after a 7.0 earthquake struck offshore late morning, triggering a tsunami warning. People along the coast near the California-Oregon border were told to move to higher ground quickly. But the big wave never materialized. California's Governor Gavin Newsom.
We've referred all our
efforts to focus now on a 7.0 earthquake in Northern California.
There have been several aftershocks, but no serious damage reported. Defense Secretary-designate Pete Hegseth meeting with more senators today, trying to gather support for his confirmation despite reports of past issues.
I'm a different man than I was years ago, and that's a redemption story that I think a lot of Americans appreciate, and I know from fellow vets that I've spent time with, they resonate with that as well.
Hegseth says he's in the fight so long as the president-elect wants him to be. Wall Street lower, the Dow losing 248 points. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why you've had to bundle up. Cloudy and 21 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your radar's been clear all day, and that's still the case. 15's your low tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 6:02. If you've spent any time outdoors today, you've had to put up with the cold. Cody Moore with the National Weather Service can explain the drop in temperatures.
It's a massive area of low pressure that's in southern Ontario, and you just have this big trough. So you have winds wrapping around the low pressure. We're getting northwest winds here in Buffalo. They're getting southwest winds right off the lake.
Moore says you might get some relief this weekend. Temperatures could be up into the 40s, not before another cold day Friday, though. You won't be able to watch the sentencing of Richard Allen, the man accused of the Delphi murders from 2017. Ryan Hedrick reports.
The request was made by the media, who was shunned once again by special judge Fran Gull, who denied camera